Hello everyone, welcome to University Field on the campus of Stony Brook University. Live for the biggest series of the season between the Stony Brook Seawolves and the UMBC Retrievers. We have just ended the top of the first inning due to a delayed start. Dawn Bodrug just struck out Ashley DeLaGuardia as the top of the first was set in order 1, 2, 3. We go down to the bottom of the first and we'll stick with you on air. So this is James D'Elia and Heath Kalb broadcasting, again, the biggest series of the year between these two teams. It's a rematch of the 2019 America East Championship where UMBC defeated the Stony Brook Seawolves 4-0 to win the America East Championship back in 2019. This year's championship begins on May 19th, and this series will decide the number 1 seed between these two teams. Last year, of course, got canceled due to COVID-19, as both teams sit tied atop the America East standings with a 9-4 conference record. And the winner, this is the last series of the season, so whoever wins 2 out of 3 games will receive the number 1 seed between these two teams. So a 3-game series, doubleheader today. This is game 1 right now. 2 today. We will have 30 minutes after this game passes. We'll have another game for game 2. And tomorrow, if the season splits, Heath, if the season series splits right here, tomorrow will be a winner-take-all.
Right, and that's why, James, today's game and the first game starting right now, going into the bottom of the first, is just so paramount for this Stony Brook Seawolves team, because if they don't win this, they're going to need to win the second game today and then the game tomorrow. So we'll see how they get off to a start here today.
So this is all for seeding. So the regular season title for the Seawolves and the UMBC Retrievers are on the line. So now we go down to the bottom of the first. And here we are in the bottom of the first. First pitch from Maddie Leach over to Jordan Herring is a ball. So in the top of the first, it went 1, 2, 3. Dawn Bodrug got a 1, 2, 3 inning with 2 strikeouts to set the UMBC Retrievers down. Second pitch over to Herring is a strike, and it's 1-1. So Herring sitting at .354 on the season, batting average. She has 4 home runs and 15 RBIs. One is grounded to the right side through the hole between first and second, in for a base hit, and the Seawolves get a lead runner on here in the first inning.
Terrific start for this Seawolves team, and this top of the order really hits the ball well.
So, Heath, we thought we would see Courtney Coppersmith, who's actually batting 5th at playing the designated player for the UMBC Retrievers, but instead we see Maddie Leach. You know, Coppersmith has been the ace of the America East all season, so we'll probably see her in Game 2. Just interesting decision by the coach to put her pitching second. First pitch over to Kyra McFarland is bunted foul. McFarland, the lefty second baseman. The freshman is batting .259 on the season.
Well, she bats from the left side, but on defense she does not. That would be pretty unconventional for a second baseman.
Leach sets. 0-1 is low for ball 1, and it's 1-1. Leach has her pitch. Looks over at the third base dugout. Here's the 1-1. Bunted. Short. Catcher picks it up and throw on to first to get her.
No,
she's safe. What a run there by Kyra McFarland. And the Seawolves have the first 2 runners on here in the bottom of the first.
Unbelievable bump by McFarland. Just died about 4 feet away from the plate. And really tough play for the catcher for the UMBC Golden Retrievers, Anna Lonchar, as Stony Brook's premier hitter, Melissa Rarick, comes up to bat, who's just been dominating opposing pitchers this whole season and her whole career.
Rarick, one of the 6 seniors honored today during Stony Brook's Senior Day, as it's the last series for many of these seniors. First pitch to Rarick is outside for ball 1. So last game for Stony Brook, they beat St. John's 3-2. as Brooke Dye said, delivered the go-ahead hit in the 7th inning to give the Seawolves the lead, which proved to be the difference. 0-1 is drilled into center field for a base hit, and it'll go to the wall. 1 run is in, and here comes McFarland around third. The throw to the plate, and she is. The ball is dropped, and she is safe.
As Rorick gets to third.
Rorick goes to third, so the Seawolves quickly out of the gates take a 2-0 lead. Great hit there from Rorick. It went into center field through both outfielders in the right center gap, and now it went to the wall. And just like that, she was able to advance on the throw home. So the Seawolves in business. Nobody out here in the bottom of the first, and Rorick hits an 2 RBI double.
Yeah, Rorick gets her 25th and 26th RBI of the season there. She's batting around 380 right now. Just an unbelievable season for the senior standout.
First pitch to Nicole Mccarville is in their first strike. So a good start for the Seawolves in a series they are going to need to win 2 games to take the America East regular season title. So already 3 hits here, 3 straight hits to start the game against Maddie Leach. 0-1 in their first strike, and it's 0-2. McCarville batting .257 on the season, one of the other 2 of the 6 seniors for the Seawolves team. UMBC only had 1 senior, or 2 seniors. Here's the 0-2. Outside. Excuse me, the first pitch was a ball, so it's 2-1 now. On deck will be Lindsay Osmer, followed by Jordan Nowakowski. Gonna have trouble with that one. The 2-1 is upstairs for ball 3, and Leach is looking like the early struggles are getting to her so far.
And she's been solid this year with a 2.33 RA. That'll be bloated after this first inning.
Here's the 3-1, swung on and grounded foul. Ripped to the left side. So a full count now to Nicole Mccarville. Here it comes. Grounded back to the pitcher. And, it was lined back to the pitcher. Looked like it chopped, but she caught it on a fly. So that's the first out here in the bottom of the first. And Mark will remain stranded at third. So Lindsay Osmer, the designated player, steps in. The junior righty is batting .278 on the season with 14 RBIs. First pitch to her is drilled into left field. That one is deep. Back goes the defender, Pierce. She makes a catch. Rorick tags and will score. So a sacrifice fly for Lindsay Osmer makes it a 3-0 Seawolves lead here in the bottom of the first.
Really solid piece of hitting there by Lindsay Osmer, and that's all you need to do with 1 out or less with the player on third.
So already 3-0 for the Seawolves. In a game they are going to need if they want to win just 2 out of 3. It's a good start for them. First pitch to Jordan Nowakowski is in their first strike. Nowakowski, one of the 6 seniors as well, being honored today. The catcher is batting .290 today. Leach sets. 0-1 is swung on grounded foul to the left side. And it's 0-2. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Seawolves already up 3-0 on the UMBC Retrievers in the biggest series of the season. Leach looks over at the third base dugout, gets her sign. Here's the 0-2. Drilled to the left side, hooking, foul. That one surely would have gone out for a home run had it stayed fair. She caught a hanging breaking ball there.
Jordan leads the team with 6 home runs this year.
Leach has a little thing on her arm to check the signs. Here's the 0-2 again, and it's low. Interesting. It's like a quarterback who has the little signs of the plays on their arm. Similar for her and her pitches. So she gets the sign from the dugout, checks her arm, and then knows what she needs to throw. A little bit unconventional. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and drilled to the right side, out of play. So now Akowski staying alive. Maddie Lee comes in with a 4-3 record, making her 11th start on the season with a 2.33 ERA in 42 innings. Her opponents are batting a .289. Here's the 1-2, drilled to the left side and through the hole after a diving play by Diagno was unsuccessful. So Jordan Nowakowski keeps the inning going for the Seawolves for Riley Craig. Riley Craig, another senior, being honored today. She's struggling on the season, batting .183, playing third base today. She does have that righty-lefty matchup against Leek. So maybe today will be the day she breaks out of that slump. Here's the first pitch to her. Low for ball one. Runner on first, and now Rakowski. Maddie Leach gets her sign from her arm. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and grounded foul. Back towards us. So in the top of the first, Dawn Bodrug set down the UMBC Retrievers 1-2-3, had 2 strikeouts to go with it. And the complete opposite here in the bottom of the first for the Seawolves against Maddie Leach. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and popped up left side, but it'll go out of play. And it's 1-2 now to Riley Craig. Seawolves already with 3 home here in the bottom of the first in a series that will determine the number 1 seed going into the America East Championship between the Seawolves and the Retrievers. Both set atop the America East standings at 9-4 in the conference. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and drilled to the right side, in for a base hit. Now Akowski rounding second, and she'll get into third. So the Seawolves have runners on the corners now with 2 outs. So a little 2-out rally going here for the Seawolves.
And I'll tell you, these Seawolves are pumped up, drawing from the energy of Senior Day. And every single player has been just doing fantastic, doing their work. Players at the corners now. And a good time for Juliana Sanzone to keep up this fantastic season. She's batting .303.
Sanzone, the freshman, looking to keep things going for the Seals, and that'll draw a mound visit. So UMBC not getting what they needed here from Maddie Leach so far. Not sure if she'll come out of the game yet, but they're definitely going to take a look at it. So the head coach, Chris Kuhlmeyer, will keep her in the game. So Leach will get a chance to get out of this inning with only 3 runs. So Sanzone steps in, number 8 hitter, also the 8th batter to come to the plate here for the Seawolves in the bottom of the first. First pitch to Sanzone is swung on and drilled into left field for a base hit. That'll score another run as the Seawolves take a 4-0 lead after the RBI single from Juliana Sanzone. So already 4 runs home here in the bottom of the first, and the Seawolves will send their 9th batter to the plate in Shauna Nuss. Riley Craig goes over to second, so first and second. A little 2-out rally seemed to be working for the Seawolves. They already have 6 hits here in the bottom of the first. All singles except for the 2 RBI double from Melissa Rorick. So 5 singles and a double. Draws 4 runs for the Seawolves. First pitch over to Nuss is a ball. She draws bunt. So the Seawolves got to be happy with this start so far. I'm sure the fans here are happy about the start. Maybe not the UMBC fans, of course. A lot of fans out there in right field watching this game, as they know the significance of this series right here.
A lot of families in attendance, of course, today as Sean and us hits it to left field for the third out.
So Pierce makes the play as the Seawolves bring 9 batters to the plate and lead it 4-0 after 6 hits, two runners left on base, and we go to the top of the second where the Seawolves lead 4-0. Back to you, Matt, in the studio. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM.
And back in the studios of WUSB, Matt Mankiewicz here. Let's get you up to date on some America East softball.
Thank you, Matt. And we're back here at University Field with Heath and James on the call. James?
So it's a 1-2 count now to Sierra Pierce, the 4-hitter. After the Seawolves draw 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. So Dawn Bodrug out there for her second inning of work. The 1-2 is in there for strike 3 called. And Sierra Pierce is shut down. So 3 strikeouts already for Dawn Bodrug. And that'll bring up the designated player, Courtney Coppersmith. Coppersmith, we know all about. She's the ace pitcher of this UMBC team playing DP right now. We'll probably see her in game 2 pitching. One of the best America East pitchers of the season. So a good matchup here as Bodrug's first pitch is popped up to center field. And the catch is made by the center fielder Herring for the second out. So 2 quick outs here after the strikeout from Pierce and the fly out from Coppersmith on the first pitch. And that'll bring up Chanel Stott. It's Stott. She's playing second base today. The sophomore's batting .300, solid .300 on the season. Bodrug only has 24 pitches so far. Her first pitch to Stott is popped up to the left side and caught by the shortstop, Mccarville, and that's it for the top of the second. Another 1-2-3 inning for Dawn Bodrug and the Seawolves, and we'll go to the bottom of the second. The Seawolves already leading 4-0 over the UMBC Retrievers. Heath, Kalb, and James Aaliyah, stick with us. We'll be back on 90.1 FM WUSB. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And back in the studios of WUSB.
As that one's grounded foul, Jordan Herring led off the second inning. She grounded to short, so there's 1 out here for Kyra McFarland. McFarland singled and came around to score, as did Herring in the first inning. So nobody on, 1 out. Bottom of the second as Maddie Leach looks to get her groove going again after a 27-pitch first inning. Proved to bring 4 runs for the Seawolves. Second pitch to McFarland is grounded to the second baseman, and no shot, they're going to get her. 2 softly hit, and McFarland has an infield hit for the Seawolves.
Just almost an impossible play for the second baseman for the UMBC Retrievers there. As when you're Kyra McFarland, you're a lefty and you're running down the baseline on this short field, that is just such a tough play. As once again, Stony Brook's premier hitter, Melissa Rarick, gets up to bat.
Rarick already with 2 RBIs on the day so far. She brought around the first 2 Seawolves. So she flies one into left center field. That one is deep, and it will be gone for a home run. So the Seawolves take a 6-0 lead here after a 2-run homer from Melissa Rarick. She's got smiles on her face as she rounds third, and she hits the plate. Look at the smiles on these Seawolves team right now.
Fans on their feet, and the bench is having too good of a time. Melissa Rarick has 4 RBIs right now. It's the bottom of the second inning. A home run and a double.
So her 5th home run of the season gives the Seawolves a 6-0 lead, and they have blown this game open against Maddie Leach.
What a way to celebrate senior day for Melissa Rarick, the senior from Colorado.
First pitch to Nicole Mccarville is outside for ball 1. So the Seawolves, in a game they need to win, well, both teams need to win, honestly. They have wasted no time here. Second pitch to McCarville swung on and missed for strike 1.
Not only does it look like the Seawolves plan to win, they plan to mercy this UMBC team.
Well, let's not say anything too early. You know all about the announcer drinks. 1-1 to Mccarville's low for ball 2, and it's 2-1. So 1 out here, nobody on after the home run from Rorick. Like Heath said, it's 4 RBIs on the day. 4 out of the 6 runs have come on the behalf of Melissa Rorick, as that one just got over the left center field wall. Here's the 2-1, grounded foul to the left side. Watch out.
And Rorick's home run, it didn't even look like she got all of it. It just looked like a routine fly out to center field, and it kept going. And it carried, and it barely went over the wall.
Good effort from Keffler out in center field, the UMBC center fielder. Gave it a ride, tried to jump at the perfect time. Seemed like she got a good timing on that jump, but not to no avail. And that pitch is hit the batter, Mccarville, on a 2-2 pitch. So Mccarville will take her base.
Hit her right on the right foot. That can't feel good.
She seems to be okay as she stands on first base. That'll bring up Lindsay Osmer. She hit a sacrifice fly to left field in her first time up. That brought home the 3rd run of the inning for the Seawolves before the 2-out rally. So Seawolves with 1 out here. Runner on first. Leach sets. Looks over at her dugout. Now looks at our arm, looks at her signs. Here's the first pitch to Osmer. Outside for ball 1.
Let's go, Lindsay.
So Leach's ERA before this game was 2.33. It's already brought up to 3.23 after 6 runs have been scored by the Seawolves so far. Here's the second pitch. Runner goes, swung on and missed, and that ball is thrown into center field. So Mccarville's on to second base with a stolen base. Nothing after that, after a wide throw from the catcher Lonchar. So the Seawolves have a runner in scoring position with 1 out here. Lindsay Osmer will look to bring home Mccarville. Good jump from Mccarville. There was no chance they were going to get her at second base, even with a good throw. Here's the 1-1, outside for ball 2. Seawolves looking to break this thing open, as the Mercy is definitely in the question right now in game 1 here. Remember, it's only after 5 innings can a Mercy be determined. Here's the 2-1, grounded to left side, foul.
So if the Seawolves are up by 8 or more after 5 innings, then the game will end
After UMBC
after
bats,
5.
right?
After UMBC bats, correct.
Yes.
So after top 5.
So that's what we'll be looking for here. So Leach looks at her dugout, looks at her arm. Here's the 2-2 to Osmer. Swung on and grounded to the left side. Nice play by the shortstop Diagnew, and throw on to first. Cannot be handled by the first baseman, De La Guardia. And Osmer is on to first. So that'll go down as an error. But the Seawolves have runners on the corners now with only 1 out. And that'll bring up Jordan Nowakowski.
And even though UMBC did not come away with an out there, Maddie Diagnew saved the run for sure with her diving stop at short. But with 1 out and players at the corners for Nowakowski, a really dangerous hitter, UMBC looks to be in just a heap of trouble.
Nowakowski singled and scored to start that 2-out rally back in the first inning. She scored on Sanzone's RBI single. First pitch to Nowakowski is swung on and missed. Nice changeup from Leach to get ahead, 0-1. So I didn't catch that. Did that go down as an error for De La Guardia or Diagnew? I don't think they said.
That goes down as an error for the first baseman.
I think it was on the scoop.
On Ashley De La Guardia.
Tough play for De La Guardia. Second pitch to Nowakowski is fouled. Seemed to went off her body.
Yeah, off her body. It was in play, but that's a foul ball.
Interesting. It looked like it was a play that was in play, but we'll do it again, and it's 0-2 now. So Leach looking to settle things down here after 2 runs already home on the inning. 0-2 is swung on and fouled to the back.
Go, Jordan!
So after Herring grounded out to start the inning, McFarland singled, Rorick hit a 2-run homer. Mccarville was hit by a pitch, stole a base, and now she's on third after Lindsay Osmer reached on De La Guardia's error. So runners on the corners, 1 out. Now Wachowski in an 0-2 spot. Here's the pitch. Outside for ball one.
So as we speak here at University Field on Stony Brook's campus, the skies are looking more and more ominous as we speak, but the temperature is really comfortable in the upper 50s, lower 60s right now.
Don't want to jinx it. Doesn't look like anything too troubling. 1-2 is outside for ball two, so a good at-bat here from Wachowski to stay alive. Really working Matty Leach, who's already had some struggles early on in this game. So like we said, not starting the ace, Courtney Coppersmith for UMBC, could come back to bite them. Here's the 2-2, grounded to the left side, picked up by the third baseman Turner. Throw to first. A scoop play is made by the first baseman DeLaGuardia, and the runners will hold except for Lindsay Osmer. She goes on to second. Mccarville held at third since the ball was hit her way. So second and third for the Seawolves after the ground out from Wachowski.
And DeLaGuardia makes up for her error on the play prior with a really nice scoop there.
So Riley Craig will step in. She singled her first time up back in the first inning. First pitch to her. In there for a strike, outside.
Let's go, girl.
Caught the outside corner right there. Seawolves with a 6-0 lead here with 9 hits already in the bottom of the second. A 2-run homer from Melissa Rorick here in the second inning. Brought 2 more home. That pitch is drilled to the right side for a base hit. It'll score 2 more runs for the Seawolves. And we are now in Mercy territory as it's 8-0 Seawolves after the 2-run single from Riley Craig.
Hard hit right by first base, Ashley DeLaGuardia. And 2 more runs in. Riley Craig's having herself a day as well.
Already with 2 hits on the day, as Juliana Sanzone steps up with 2 outs and runner on first in Craig. Sanzone hit an RBI single back in the first inning. First pitch to her, half swing as she went around for strike 1. So 8-0, Heath, like you said. If we get to that 5th inning and the score hasn't changed or it's gotten even bigger, then this game is over. In a game both teams need to win to have the advantage on the other. Second pitch to Sanzone is swung on and missed for strike 2, and it's 0-2. So in case you don't know, both these teams sit atop the America East title conference right now. They're tied with a 9-4 conference record. Here's the 0-2, swung on and grounded to the left side, foul. So the winner of this is the last series of the season. So what better way to end it than to determine the America East title, regular season title. Of course, we go to the championship. The softball championship starts next week. So this is for the 1 and 2 seed, these 3 games. 2 today, 1 tomorrow. That 1 tomorrow could be the one to decide it all. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and popped up, left side. Diagnu calls it off. She makes the catch in the snow cone to end the inning, but the Seawolves tack on 4 more runs and lead it 8-0 as we go to the top of the 3rd. UMBC versus Stony Brook. Back to you, Matt, in the studio. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM.
And back in the studios of WUSB, Matt Mankiewicz here. Get you up to date on, first of all, the story that we are following. University of Hartford making the decision to downgrade from D1 to D3, and here's how it happened. The University of Hartford Board of Regents voted yesterday to transition the university's athletic program from Division I to Division III. The university will submit to the NCAA a formal request to join D3 in January 2022, next January, and hopes to be reclassified no later than September 1st, 2025. The school said in a statement that scholarships and coaching contracts will be honored. And, of course, the response from the athletes, Tracy Carter, a graduate student, also a student athlete, says, I'm saddened and heartbroken. I don't even have any words to describe how I feel. But the move comes about 2 months after the Hartford men's basketball team won its first conference title and advanced to the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. The Hawks lost in the first round to Baylor, the eventual national champion, but garnered national attention. And they also say that's not necessarily financially motivated. But Hartford, now the big question now is that because D3 is no scholarship, when does Hartford stop offering scholarships, and how long will they stay in the America East? Let's send it back.
Welcome back to University Field on the campus of Stony Brook. James D'Elia alongside Heath Kalb as the Seawolves are up 8-0 over the UMBC Retrievers. Dawn Bodrug starts her third inning of work against Casey Turner.
And Bodrug has been just utterly dominant in these first 2 innings. 6 up, 6 down with 3 strikeouts.
Just had a lot of time off after the Seawolves tack on 4 runs in the first and 4 runs in the second to go along with 10 hits as they bring up 9 batters to the plate in the first and 8 in the second.
Always nice when you give your best pitcher a lot of run support.
Here's the 2-0, swung on and fouled back. So it's 2-1. Casey Turner, the third baseman. She's batting .231 on the season. Turner steps back into the plate, brings her bat to her shoulder. Bodrug sets. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and grounded to the right side, picked up by the second baseman McFarland. Easy play over to first. And Turner is set aside. That'll bring up the catcher, Anna Lonchar. So the Seawolves, after getting swept by University of Albany last weekend in a 3-game series, kind of unconventional for them to get swept. Lost 6-2, 2-0, and 3-1. They came back to defeat St. John's, so that St. John's game could prove the difference as it gave them a little momentum coming into this game. First pitch to Lonchar, swung on and missed. You hear the screams from the infield, giving Bodrug some excitement. Lonchar batting .250 on the season, the junior righty. 0-1, high for ball 1. So this UMBC team looking to cut the difference before the 5th inning hits, at least. Here's the 1-1 in there for a strike. Strike 2. And quickly it's 1-2 now from Bodrug to Lonchar. So 7 up, 7 down for the UMBC Retrievers. Complete opposite for the Seawolves. Here's the 1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3. Lonchar was nowhere near that one as Bodrug gets her 4th strikeout of the day.
And with 8 up and 8 down, James, I just have a hypothetical question for you.
Don't say it.
Well, I'm just asking, if this game only goes 5,
I think I know what you're going
and she's still perfect, does that count?
Well, it's the same thing with the Madison Baumgartner 7-inning no-hitter. Does that count in your book? So it's all a matter of opinion. First pitch to Megan Dempsey is in there for a strike.
Because Bodrug just looks untouchable right now.
You are really trying to jinx them, aren't you, from what I see?
all I'm saying is, this is her 23rd appearance of the season. She's already had 16 complete games and an ERA well below 2.
0-1 is inside for ball 1 as Dempsey drew a bunt and drew it back. So the corners came in, but to no avail. So it's 1-1 with 2 outs. Dempsey, the 9-hitter, batting .280 on the season, making her 26th start of the season. Here's the 1-1, fouled to the backstop, and it's 1-2. So that's something for the conversation. That's a conversation we'll have if and when it happens. Got to get through the first 5 innings to even get there. With the Seawolves right now, if they get to this bottom of the 3rd unscathed, they could look to tack on even more runs. Bodrug's 1-2, swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning, and the Retrievers are set down aside 1-2-3 for the 3rd straight inning. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd here at University Field. Seawolves leading 8-0 over the Retrievers. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio before the bottom of the 3rd comes.
And back in the studios of WSB, a little bit more on that Hartford story. And it just gets more amazing the more you read it. The claim right now is that Hartford it will be saving as much as $9 million a year, although they say that it's better for the long-term health of the school from transitioning their athletics down to Division III. But enough of that. Let's concentrate on the game the current athletes are playing against Binghamton. They're in the bottom of the third right now, and the Bearcats have a 3-0 lead over the Hawks. That's the only game going on in the America East right now. Later on, however, you do have UAlbany and Maine. They're playing the first of a 3-game set, but only one game today up in Orono, and they'll play the doubleheader tomorrow. Of course, the Seawolves will play a single game tomorrow to complete the 3-game set. And, of course, with a sweep in this doubleheader, they could clinch the top seed. Otherwise, they would have to wait till tomorrow if they split or get swept the other way. If they get swept the other way, then it goes the other way. Continuing on, we are still about half an hour away from the Pirates and Cubs, starting the only day game of Friday. The rest are all evening games. Sox and Orioles, Nats and Yankees, D-backs and Mets on the schedule, and a lot more as everybody is in action tonight in Major League Baseball. Let's send it back.
Back at University Field, Seawolves lead 8-0 over the UMBC Retrievers as we have a new pitcher for the Retrievers in Jillian McCarthy. First pitch to Shauna Nuss is in there for a strike.
So Jillian is a lefty, and as she comes into pitch, we're starting to feel just slight raindrops here. I just looked at the radar as our weather expert here, and it doesn't look like it's going to be anything serious, just a passing shower, very light.
Second pitch to Nuss is bunted foul as she sprints down the first base line, but the ball went behind her. So McCarthy comes in, making her 9th appearance on the season. She's usually one of the starters, a sub-starter, making her 9th appearance. She's 0-3 on the season. Her ERA is 4.94. So she'll look to shut things down and turn her season around. So it's 0-2 now to Nuss, and that ball's popped to the left side. Diagnew makes the catch, and it's 1 out now in the bottom of the third. So we go back to the top of the lineup for Jordan Herring, making her 3rd at-bat in as many innings. She singled and came around in the first inning and grounded out to short her 2nd time up in the 2nd.
Yeah, always a good sign when your leadoff hitter has 3 at-bats through 3 innings and the opposing team's leadoff batter has 1 at-bat.
So that closes the door on Maddie Leach. First pitch over to Herring is bunted foul.
Let's go, Jay!
Maddie Leach finishes giving up 8 runs in 10 hits. Not what you really want after.
Now, Maddie Leach gave up 8 runs, but only 7 of them were earned.
So if you want to look at one of the bright spots, that pitch is sailed to the backstop.
All right, Jay, here we go.
So McCarthy comes in as a little bit of damage control for the Retrievers, as they're already in an 8-0 hole. Remember, if we get to that 5th inning and the score hasn't changed or it's gotten even wider, then this game will be over due to a mercy rule. So the 1-1 is swung on and missed. Strike 2 to Jordan Herring. Herring comes into this game with the 2nd best average for the Seawolves behind Melissa Rarick. She's batting .354 in her 36th start of the season. So McCarthy also has a little set of notes in her glove, it seems. Here's the 1-2, drilled into center field for a base hit. Nice piece of hitting there from Herring, and the Seawolves have a 1-out base runner.
Lined right down the middle.
All right, Kira, let's go.
And now Kira McFarland is up, who has 2 singles. One of the few players in the Seawolves who still has not gotten out today.
She is 1 of 2. The second one, Melissa Rarick, in the on-deck circle. McFarland, 2 singles, 2 runs.
Riley Craig has also not gotten out yet today.
You would be correct. First pitch over to McFarland is bunted foul. So 3 Seawolves have yet to be recorded out so far.
And I can't be the only one who wants to see Melissa Rarick get up again.
Especially with runners on.
Oh, yeah.
Looking to really blow this thing open. But McFarland can do it too. Here's the second pitch. Is bunted in the air for caught, and the throw back to first. They got her. So a double play after the bunt pop-up. Caught by the third baseman Turner. Throw on to first, and they get Herring at first base. So a double play ends the bottom of the third. We go to the 4th inning here at University Field. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB where the Seawolves lead 8-0. Back to you, Matt, in the studio before we come back.
And back in the studios of WSB, Matt Mankiewicz here. Binghamton, Hartford, still in the bottom of the third, and the Bearcats lead the Hawks 3-0, as you know by now. Hartford has made a decision to transition their athletic programs to Division III from Division I, which means no more scholarships and no more competition in the America East. Transition scheduled to be completed by January 2025. They're going to file for it with the NCAA in January 2022, which means that participation in the America East is likely next year, and scholarships will be honored. But at some point, we'll have to stop offering them, so that could get a little dicey. We'll be following it on the sports section, of course. But also, I should remind you that there are more softball games to be played, and there will be another one at 3 o'clock. UAlbany takes on Maine, and that will be in Orono, but they play the doubleheader tomorrow. Now, as far as lacrosse is concerned, well, the men lost their semifinal to Vermont 10-7, so their season's done. But on the other hand, the women advanced to the final, and they will be, of course, taking on their opponent and possibly prevailing over them at, I believe it's 12:45 tomorrow here on WUSB, but we'll get that for you. Actually, I know it is 12:45 tomorrow, so we will have that for you, and we will also have, again, more softball now.
Back at University Field with the Seawolves leading the Retrievers 8-0. Dawn Bodrug starts her 4th inning of work, and she gets a second pitch grounded to the third baseman. Craig picks it up, goes on to first, and 1 out here as she gets Maddie Diagnew for the second time.
10 up, 10 down for Bodrug.
So that'll bring up Julia Keffler. Bodrug with an excellent start to her day so far, and she's got the offense on the other side supporting her. Seawolves score 4 in the first and 4 in the second inning. Nothing doing in the third for the Seawolves after the double play. Nice play by Turner at third base.
Craig.
Well, back in the third inning, I meant for the Seawolves batting. So the first pitch to Keffler, swung on and missed. So Bodrug picking up where she left off. Already has 5 strikeouts on the day. 0-1 from Bodrug to Keffler is bunted to the left side. Picked up by the third baseman Craig again, and she throws it wide. So that'll be the first base runner as Keffler will advance on to second as the ball got behind everyone. So a runner on second now for the Retrievers. And the first base runner, it'll go down as an error on Riley Craig, as it was a tough play to get the speedy Keffler at first. So no perfect game. It seems like they're calling it a hit. So no hitter either. So a hit on the bunt and an error on the throw, allowing Keffler to advance to second. So the first hit for the Retrievers goes down in the books. A single and an error. First pitch to De La Guardia is upstairs for ball 1. So I guess we don't have to worry about your hypothetical.
Unfortunately.
Your hypothetical no-hitter, perfect game. But the shutout's still intact for Bodrug. Here's the second pitch. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1. De La Guardia was one of Bodrug's 2 strikeout victims back in the first inning. So some of these Seawolves have batted 3 times already, and we're in the 4th inning now. And all of these Retrievers have only batted once. so far.
Go,
So
Dawn.
DeLaGuardia making her second at bat as she fouls off the 1-2 fastball.
And she's just been getting ahead in counts. It seems like almost every single batter. And it's just going to be too difficult for these Golden Retrievers to come back in these counts and hit against the dominant pitcher as Bodrug.
1-2 is fouled to the right side.
Dawn, good pitch.
So DeLaGuardia staying alive. So a lot of Seawolves fans out there in right field. Some of them brought blankets, chairs. Some of them just sitting on the grass. A few less UMBC fans out in left field. A little bit of a rivalry going on here.
Dawn.
Still a good number. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and DeLaGuardia is set down for the second time.
High cheese.
A high fastball got her, and Bodrug has her 6th strikeout on the day so far. And I'll bring up Sierra Pierce.
Bodrug's now up to 209 strikeouts on the season in her 23rd appearance. That is unbelievable.
First pitch to Pierce is popped up to the right side. Hit the fence on the right side, out of play. Rarick gave it a ride. She hit the fence. She's slow to get up. She's all smiles as she gets up.
Rarick gives the thumbs up, but you almost don't want your best player running into the fence up 8-0 right now.
Good to see the hustle there from Rarick. Don't want to see her get hurt, though, as the America East Championship is right around the corner, starting on May 13th. You'll definitely see Rarick along with these Seawolves there, depending on what happens today and possibly tomorrow. That will determine the seeding for that America East Championship. So the 1 and 2 seed on the line here. Here's the second pitch over to Pierce, in there for a strike. And it's 0-2. So after the foul that Rarick gave a ride, a little bit of an extended break.
Let's go, Dawn.
Bodrug hasn't seemed to lose her mojo, and it's 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and popped up, back towards us. Doesn't hit us.
If I had longer arms, I would have tried to catch that one.
Maybe if you had 50-foot arms, you would have caught that.
Right.
So Pierce struck out looking back in the second inning. Looking to avoid her similar fate here in the fourth. Here's the 0-2. Missed upstairs for ball 1. Pierce coming in with a .289 average, has 4 home runs to lead this UMBC team, along with 17 RBIs. Here's the 1-2, swung on and drilled to the left side, foul.
And that was the first time this game that a UMBC player has gotten really good contact on a ball.
Yeah.
First really hard hit ball. It almost catches you off guard when an opposing player hits it that hard against Bodrug.
Yeah, definitely right on that one. The first time I've really seen anything hit as hard as that one. So we'll do it again. Here's the 1-2. Outside. Ball 2. So Pierce having a good at-bat against Bodrug. Bodrug up to 45 pitches on the day. Nothing too serious. Remember, in a 7-inning game, 45 pitches doesn't seem like that many.
And Pierce definitely does have power. This UMBC team has 8 home runs on the season. She has half of them.
2-2 is drilled into right field and caught by the right fielder, Nuss. And the Retrievers are set aside. So they get their first hit, but leave Keffler on second base. And we go to the bottom of the fourth. Seawolves still up 8-0 over the UMBC Retrievers. Back to you, Matt, in the studio. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM.
And back in the studios of WUSB, Matt Mankiewicz here. Update on Binghamton, Hartford. Hartford's on the board in the bottom of the third. They played a run and now trail the Bearcats by a score of 3-1. As we said, there is one other game coming up later on at 3, still more an hour away, Albany and Maine, but they will only play 1 today and 2 tomorrow. Now, about 20 minutes away, you do have some Major League Baseball going on. The Pirates and the Cubs will start today's proceedings. In MLB, Red Sox and Orioles, Nationals and Yankees, Reds and Indians, D-backs and Mets, Twins and Tigers, Brewers and Marlins, Phillies and Braves all have approximate 7 o'clock starts, give or take a couple of minutes. Your 8 o'clock lineup is Mariners and Rangers, Blue Jays and Astros, White Sox and Royals, Rockies and Cardinals. And your lineup out on the coast is Dodgers and Angels, Rays and A's, and Padres and Giants. So watch baseball all day long after you're done listening to softball. Can't go wrong. Now, as far as the NHL is concerned, no locals in action, but you do the Stars and Lightning, Flyers and Capitals, Red Wings and Blue Jackets, Ducks and Wild, Blues and Golden Knights, Avalanche and Kings, Coyotes and Sharks. NBA, locals in action. Knicks are in Phoenix. And you gotta wait till 10 o'clock to watch them. And we'll be following more, of course, as time goes on here with Stony Brook Seawolves softball. Back to University Field.
Back at University Field here in an 8-0 Stony Brook Seawolves lead over the UMBC Retrievers as Melissa Rarick steps in for her third at-bat. And that pitch is drilled into center field. Keffler is there to make the catch, and Rarick is set aside for the first time today. Didn't even get to really talk about Rarick. She has 4 RBIs on the day. Hit a 2 RBI double back in the first inning and a 2-run home run in the second inning to really cap off, well, really start that big inning for the Seawolves back in the second, where they scored 4 along with the first inning. So she's set aside, and Nicole Mccarville will step in. First pitch from McCarthy over to McCarville. It's outside for ball 1.
It's been a different story for the Seawolves offense as soon as McCarthy came into the game. This lefty throws hard.
It might not matter, as the Retrievers will have one more chance back in the top of the first, as that pitch is drilled into left field for a base hit. On cue, Nicole McCarville gets the Seawolves a hit against McCarvey, and they have a 1-out base runner. So like I was saying, the top of the 5th is the last chance for the Retrievers to at least score 1 run. If they score 1 run, the game will keep going. If they score 0 runs, the game is over, and the Seawolves win game 1.
And that's assuming the Seawolves don't score in this half inning.
That's true. They could score 2 more runs, and the Retrievers would have to score 3 runs. So anything to keep it from 8, a difference of 8, Retrievers will have to do. First pitch, Lindsay Osmer is in there for a strike. Osmer has an RBI sac fly back in the first inning, and she reached on an error back in the second and came around to score, as did McCarville, who sits on first base. Osmer batting .275 on the season. McCarthy sets. Here's the pitch, drilled into right field. In comes Dempsey. She's unable to make the play as she put her glove out to the grass and could not hang on to it. So Lindsay Osmer has herself a 1-out hit. McCarville reaches on to second base. And the Seawolves are in business here in the bottom of the 4th. Already up 8-0 over the Retrievers. So that'll bring up Jordan Nowakowski. She had a great at-bat back in the second inning. Was to no avail. She grounded out to the third baseman. First pitch to her. Down for ball 1.
And I'll tell you, if there's one person here at University Field who wants this to be a mercy rule the game sooner, it's got to be Jordan Nowakowski, who's going to be catching.
She will most likely be catching game 2 as well, as well as game 3 tomorrow, whether that has any meaning or not. Second pitch to her is fouled off for ball 1. So in case you don't know, this is the last series between both the Seawolves and the Retrievers. Last series but for both teams before we go to the America East Championship. The winner of these at least 2 out of 3 of these games will receive the number 1 seed along with the America East regular season title before we go into the championship. Here's the 1-1, fouled to the backstop, and it's 1-2. Both these teams sit atop the America East Conference with a 9-4 conference record. So the winner of game 1 will have the advantage, as a sweep today will give one of these teams, whoever sweeps, the America East regular season title, and game 3 will just be a formality tomorrow. Everyone always loves a good winner-take-all, though, as we get a mound visit.
Best two words in sports, Game 7. Tomorrow would be Game 3 if they split today.
So Lonchar and McCarthy talking things over. Took a while in between pitches there. They didn't like what they saw, so they talked things over. Lonchar retreats back to her position behind home plate. It's a 1-2 count on Jordan Nowakowski. The pitch in there. Strike 3 called. And Nowakowski is retired. So the first strikeout for the Seawolves all day comes looking as McCarthy gets the second out. Runner still on first and second. 2 outs now for Riley Craig, one of the Seawolves who has yet to be retired today. She singled back in the first and hit an RBI, 2 RBI single back in the second. First pitch to her is outside for ball 1. McCarville on first, Osmer on second after 2 singles from both of them. Now Kowski struck out.
Let's go 40, what do you say?
Riley Craig looking to do some more damage as she topped off that second inning with those 2 runs to make it an 8-0 game, which is where we stand. Second pitch to her is drilled to the left side for a base hit. Rounding third is McCarville. She'll try and score. The left fielder, Pierce, bobbled it. The throw comes on to third, and Osmer is safe at third, and Riley Craig will advance to second. So the Seawolves tack on another run after the RBI single from Riley Craig.
Hey, Riley, way to
And
go!
it's 9-0 Seawolves lead over the Retrievers.
And Riley Craig now has 3 RBIs on the day. And the lefty senior, who was batting 183 coming into this game, that's just not indicative of how good she is. She's now 3 for 3 with 3 RBIs today.
So that'll bring up Juliana Sanzone, looking to add on to this already huge Seawolves lead. So runners on second and third.
Seawolves picked a good day to play hot.
Some McCarthy, after setting down the Seawolves, has some troubles here in the bottom of the 4th. And that pitch is upstairs for ball 2. So 1 run home here. As Riley Craig got her 3rd RBI on the day. McCarthy checks her arm for the signs. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. Nice 2-0 pitch there from McCarthy to get back into this count. Shauna Nuss is on deck. Then we'll go back to the top of the lineup. 2 outs here. Runners on second and third. Osmer on third. Craig on second. Here's the pitch. Grounded to the left side. Foul. Just foul. To the left of the third base side. Got past the third baseman Turner, so that would have been 2 more runs had it stayed fair. But Sanzone will come back and we'll do it again. Sanzone batting .314 on the season. Has 1 home run to go along with 5 RBIs. Batting in the 8th spot today, playing left field.
And what a luxury it is to have your hitter in the 8th spot be batting over 300.
Here's the 2-2, grounded to the left side, foul again. That one not hit nearly as hard as the last one. Seawolves won their last game, 3-2 over St. John's, after an RBI single by Brooke Dye in the top of the 7th proved to be the difference. So a little bit of a momentum boost for them coming into this huge series. A series we will likely see again. The 2-2 is grounded to the left side, picked up by the shortstop. Throw on to first. She's safe and throw home. And she is safe as well. And into second goes Sanzone. And she is out. So a big play there. 2-run score as it's now 11-0. Sanzone is out. So that does it for the bottom of the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th. Last chance for the UMBC Retrievers to score a run. Well, now they have to score 4 runs to keep this game going. So the Seawolves lead 11-0 at the end of 4. Going to the top of the 5th, you're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And thank you very much, WUSB Stony Brook to be exact. 90.1 FM, 107.3 FM, W297 BM Stony Brook. But time for an America East update. And we do have Binghamton and Hartford in the bottom of the fourth. Binghamton leads 3-1. Hartford played a run in the third. Only other game going on would be Albany and Maine, and they are still about an hour away from getting started there. Now, one thing we can also check up on is the baseball, because, of course, there is plenty of baseball action we do need to keep an eye on over the weekend, as the Stony Brook Seawolves will be at home as well. So you pretty much know what we're going to be doing here on at Joe Nathan Field. They'll be taking on NJIT in a doubleheader tomorrow. That we will not have for you, because we're going to have the women's lacrosse final against Albany in its place. But we will have the doubleheader for you at 11:45 on Sunday. UMBC in Binghamton, UMass Lowell in Maine, and Hartford and Albany are the matchups for the weekend coming up. And, of course, lots to look forward to. But also, Yankees and Mets are playing tonight. The Knicks play late at night out on the coast. Let's send it back.
Back at University Field, last chance for the Retrievers, as the Seawolves lead 11-0. If the Retrievers don't score 4 runs here, then this game 1 is over, and the Seawolves take an advantage going into game 2. This is James D'Elia alongside Heath Kalb. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB. As Courtney Coppersmith gets her second at-bat against Dawn Bodrug, 2 aces of this team. Coppersmith will likely see in game 2 of this doubleheader. She's 0 for 1 on the day. Here's the 1-1 outside for ball 2. So Coppersmith, in case you don't know, one of the America East's best pitchers, if not the best pitcher, has a .6 ERA with 191 strikeouts in just 105 innings pitched.
Hey, she's not too shabby of a hitter as well. She has 19 hits and 57 at-bats coming into this one for .333 average.
As that one is popped foul over the backstop, and it's 2-2. So if you're the Seawolves, you definitely need to win the game that she's not pitching, which they look good right now, as the mercy rule is in effect here in the top of the 5th inning. Last chance for the Retrievers. Here's the 2-2 to Coppersmith. She fouls it off again.
All right, Don, here we go.
So, by the way, that last play in the bottom of the 4th, Riley Craig, on a routine ground ball to short, went from second to home and scored. And she was beat by a mile by that throw and just had an unbelievable dive and scored at home.
2-2 is swung on and missed, and Bodrug gets Coppersmith swinging for her 7th strikeout of the day in just 5 innings. So Bodrug really dealing, not settling down after these long innings from the Seawolves offense. So the Seawolves 2 outs away from taking a Game 1 victory over the Retrievers in a series that will prove to be the difference. Whoever wins 2 out of 3 games of this series will take the #1 seed and take the America East Championship of the regular season, going into the America East Championship, which starts next week on May 13th. So 11-0 the Seawolves lead so far in the top of the 5th. Chanel Stott steps in, takes ball 1 from Bodrug. Here's the 1-0, swung on and missed, strike 1.
You know, sometimes, James, the scoreboard doesn't really indicate how the game went, and this one does.
This one definitely
UMBC's scoreboard reads 0 runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Stony Brook 11 runs, 14 hits, and 1 error.
That's only in 4 innings, remind you. 1-1 is outside for ball 2.
Truly about as lopsided as a softball game can get. And this one was over quick.
So let's assume, don't want to assume anything. Let's assume Stony Brook wins this game.
Barring 12 runs here by UMBC.
2-1's upstairs for 3-1. So let's assume Stony Brook wins this game. They will need to win just 1 more game, either later today or tomorrow, to take the #1 seed and win the America East regular season. So UMBC will need to win both these games. Here's the 3-1. It's upstairs for ball 4. Just the second base runner for the Retrievers all day. Maybe that'll spark a little 4-run inning to keep this game going, as that's how many runs the Retrievers will need against Bodrug to keep this game going. And that'll bring up Casey Turner. the third baseman, grounded to second her first time up back in the third inning. Not a lot of offense today. As I said, that Stott walk was just the second base runner for the Retrievers. So Bodrug sets. Here's the first pitch to Turner, upstairs for ball one. And we'll get a mound visit, as Nowakowski didn't like what she saw there from Bodrug. They're just going to talk things over. So sophomore Brooke Dye, not playing in this game right now, said after the win against St. John's that going into this series that it's going to be a dogfight, but our team has got this. We're just going to have fun and do what we do and take two. So she was confident in her team, and they have proven her right so far. The 1-0 is in there for a strike. 1-1 now to Turner. Brooke Dye, of course, gave the Seawolves that 3-2 lead over St. John's in the top of the seventh in their last game. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and drilled into left field. That one is deep, and that one is long gone. Casey Turner with a 2-run homer for the Retrievers. And they cut the lead now to 11-2. And Dawn Bodrug gives up just her first 2 runs of the day. Turner with her first home run of the season as the Retriever bench comes out to congratulate her.
And I know the score is 11-2, and this just looks like it's nothing. But this means something, and it's momentum for this UMBC team.
At least going into next game. But, I mean, this game's not over yet. As we see right there, anything could happen. See, the Retrievers still need 2 more runs to keep this game going, as it's 11-2 now. First pitch to Anna Lonchar, the catcher, is in there for a strike. So a 2-run homer from Casey Turner, giving her her 7th and 8th RBI on the season. Got to feel good for her. Here's the 0-1. Lonchar takes that low. Lonchar struck out back in the third inning. Turner really got a hold of that one.
She did. Straight to dead center.
1-1 is inside for ball 2. So, 8-run mercy is the rule. Seawolves still holding on to that mercy rule with a 9-run lead. Here's the 2-1. That one's in there for a strike. 2-2 now. Anna Lonchar, the junior, batting .250 on the season. 7 RBIs, no home runs. Maybe she'll get her first home run here against Bodrug. Here's the 2-2. That one's low for ball 3. Full count now to Lonchar, the opposing catcher. Bodrug looking to end this game here in the top of the 5th. Already 2 runs home for the Retrievers. That one is drilled into right field, and that'll get down for a base hit. And Lonchar keeps things going for the Retrievers as they have the 9-hitter coming up, Megan Dempsey. Dempsey struck out as well as Lonchar back in the third inning. And it seems like we're going to get a change here. Pinch runner for Lonchar as she comes back.
That's Julia Colton. Sophomore outfielder will be running at first now for UMBC.
Julia Colton with 1 stolen base on the year. Speedy sophomore. That seems to be the only change we're seeing.
And I know that this little run from UMBC here just seems like it's delaying the inevitable, but I could tell you for certainty that the Seawolves team just wants to get out of this inning and end the game right now.
Bodrug up to 73 pitches before she faces Megan Dempsey. First pitch to her, in there for a strike, 0-1. 1 out, runner on first. That is Julia Colton, of course. Oh, 1. outside for ball one.
Good spot, Dawn.
So 2 more outs, and the Seawolves will take game 1 due to mercy rule against the UMBC Retrievers and have the advantage going into game 2 for the America East regular season title. The 1-1 is swung on and missed on a high heat there from Dawn Bodrug to make it 1-2. So 2 runs home on the inning after Casey Turner ripped one into left center field for a 2-run homer, her first home run on the season. Still trail 11-2. The 1-2 is in there for strike 3 called. And the Retrievers are down to their final out here in the top of the 5th.
Great spot, Dawn.
Dempsey struck out for the second time, this time looking. And then we'll go back to the top of the lineup. Maddie Diagnew will step in as the last chance for the Retrievers. Diagnew grounded out twice back in the first and fourth inning. So runner on first, 2 outs. First pitch to Diagnew is grounded to short, scooped up by the shortstop, Mccarville, and she reaches
Nicole, good try.
safely. Interesting play there. It was a soft hit ball. That'll go down as a infield hit for Diagnew, and this game is still going.
Yeah, McCarville didn't do anything wrong there. It's just these softly hit ground balls, especially when there's a lefty up to play. It is really tough to make those plays.
Not much she could do there. Julia Keffler steps in with runners on first and second and 2 out. First pitch from Bodrug. Upstairs for ball 1. You heard a little bit of a silence there from the entire field right here as we were anticipating that call right there. So a single from Lonchar. Colton, the pinch hitter, on second. Maddie Diagnew, infield single. Julia Keffler steps in, and it's 2-0 now.
And as we see with 2 players on base and 1 in scoring position, maybe Riley Craig's heads-up base running is actually going to mean something now.
Definitely could, as she was just running with 2 outs and happened to score on an infield single. Here's the 2-0. Popped up, left side, and into center field for a base hit. Runner at third, and Colton will stop at third. And UMBC's in business. Bases loaded here. 2 outs for the Retrievers, as they need to score at least 2 more runs to keep this game going. And they are definitely in the position to do so, as Ashley De La Guardia will step in.
De La Guardia has struggled today. 2 strikeouts, 1 looking, 1 swinging.
That came in the first and fourth inning. So she'll get her 3rd chance against Bodrug to keep this thing going. 11-2, the Seawolves lead over the UMBC Retrievers. Here's the first pitch to De La Guardia, and it's in there for a strike. Bases loaded. 2 runs home already for the Retrievers in the inning. They're looking to tack on and keep this game going, as an 8-run mercy rule is in effect as the Seawolves lead by 9. That second pitch is sharp foul, and it's 0-2. So the Retrievers down to their final strike here in game 1 of this doubleheader. Game 2 will come about 30 minutes after game 1 ends.
Just 1 strike away from Bodrug and the Seawolves winning by a mercy rule, but UMBC is showing they're here to play. And
game 2 will be a good one. Here's the 0-2. Popped up left side, and that'll go out of play into the woods. So even if UMBC loses this game, which it looks like they most likely will, it's a good momentum shift after this solid top half of the 5th inning. It's a good momentum shift going into game 2, as I'm sure we'll see their ace Courtney Coppersmith in game 2 of this doubleheader. Here's the 0-2. In there, strike 3 called, and the ball game is over. Dawn Bodrug with a complete game, as she gets her 9th strikeout of the day, and the Seawolves win 11-2 as they mercy the UMBC Retrievers and take game 1 of this crucial doubleheader, 11-2.
what a fitting way to end the game with Bodrug with a nice strikeout. That's her 17th complete game, albeit this one only went 5, but that's because how dominant this Seawolves team was. 11-2. Seawolves had 14 hits, and they had 8 runs in the first 2 innings. This game was over quick. I know that UMBC struck a little fear into the Seawolves with bases loaded and 2 runs already in the top of the 5th. But the Seawolves came to play on senior day. What a game. Now they just need to win 1 out of the next 2 against UMBC, 1 being in 30 minutes, 1 tomorrow. And they are the regular season America East champions if they can complete that goal.
So both teams go into their respective outfields. UMBC on the left field grass, Stony Brook on the right field grass, as the grounds crew will do some adjustments and clean up this field before Game 2 starts. Once again, your final score, 11-2. On the other side for the Retrievers, they tacked on 2 runs in that top of the 5th to go along with 5 hits and had 1 error. Seawolves, like Heath said, had 11 runs, 14 hits in just 4 innings of offense. So that'll do it for us here for Game 1, as we'll get to see Courtney Coppersmith in the bottom half of this first, as Melissa Rarick, who had a monster game like Heath said in the first game, is on the mound for the Seawolves, as the leadoff hitter Maddie Diagnew steps in, and Game 2 is about to be underway here at University Field. First pitch from Rarick to Diagnew is in there for strike 1, and we are underway. Stony Brook won Game 1, 11-2. Mercy ruled UMBC after 5 innings, 4.5 innings, after an outburst of offense where Seawolves scored 11 runs in just 4 innings. The 0-1 is grounded foul, and now it's 0-2 to Diagnew.
So we'll see if this game starts out any differently than the first game. I'm sure that's UMBC's plan.
So same lineup for the Seawolves, as we'll see them in the bottom half of this first. A little bit of changes here for the UMBC. Here's the 0-2. Outside for ball 1. A little bit of changes for the UMBC offense and defense. Couple of lineup changes, a little bit of substitutions. But for the Seawolves, it stays the same. Here's the 1-2. Just missed outside. You see the groans from the infield Seawolves. They thought Rarick had that one.
The all-around stud, Rarick, as we alluded to, pitching today. And as great as she is hitting, she's also very solid pitching. She has a 2.44 ERA with a 9-5 record so far this year.
1-2 is grounded foul off of the body of Diagnew. Went into the playing field, but she'll come back and do it again. Good solid first at-bat here for the UMBC Retrievers, who need to win the next 2 games, the final 2 games of this season, if they want to win the America East regular season title. Stony Brook needs to just win 1 out of these 2 next games, and they will be crowned champions of the regular season. Here's the 1-2 again. That one's low.
And Rarick needs to keep Diagnew off the base paths. In 95 at-bats this year, she has 33 hits and 28 runs. That is unbelievable that she's scored 28 of the 33 times she's gotten a hit.
1-2 again is grounded to second, picked up by the second baseman McFarland, and it gets away from her. It was an easy play, and Diagnew will advance on to second base.
And McFarland just threw that away. I mean, that should be a routine ground out right there, and not the way to start the game for the Seawolves.
In a game they would like to come away with so that they don't have to worry about tomorrow. They give up an early error, and Diagnew is now on second base after the error from McFarland, and that'll bring up the center fielder Julia Keffler. The senior lefty batter went 2 for 3 in Game 1. One of the few bright spots in that lineup. Here, the first pitch to her is grounded off of her body as well, and foul. You hear the call from the umpire. It seemed to have hit her in the back as she groans as she thought it didn't hit her.
Okay, so
she's out.
She ran out of the batter's box, and the umpire behind home plate is now saying that she's out. And you don't see that very often, James.
Not sure what the
confusion on the face right now of Julia Keffler.
So she's retired regardless. And Diagnu still on second.
A bizarre turn of events right there.
Not exactly as sure of that. It seemed like she stepped out of the batter's box and the ball hit her on her way to first. So she's automatically out. In any case, first pitch to Shayna Pierce is grounded to third, and a nice play there from the third baseman Riley Craig to get the second out. Diagnu holds at second base. So 2 quick outs after the leadoff error, allowing Diagnu to advance to second.
Ball actually hit off Craig's chest and went to the ground, and she stuck with it and threw it over to first. Nice stick-to-itiveness right there by Riley Craig.
So a 5-3 putout will bring up Madison Wilson. First time we're seeing her today, the sophomore righty playing designated player today. First pitch from Rorick over to her is a strike. Wilson comes in batting .321, making her 20th start of the season. She's got 4 home runs, tied for the lead with Sierra Pierce. 0-1, swung on and missed, strike 2. Rorick making quick work of Wilson.
And after Maddie Diagnu off the error gets the second to lead off the inning, this would be huge for Rorick to get out of this with no runs scored.
Rorick coming off a big offensive game in game 1. Here's the 0-2. Check swing. She did not go around.
Ooh.
The defense for the Seawolves started to coming off the field.
They started a little celebration.
In any case, it's 1-2. Diagnu on second. With 2 outs, here's the 1-2. Grounded back to the pitcher Rorick. She throws on to first, and the side is retired. So the Retrievers get a base runner, but leave her stranded on second base. We go to the bottom of the first in a 0-0 game. We'll see the Seawolves for the first time in game 2 of this doubleheader. We'll be right back on 90.1 WUSB Radio. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And back in the studios of WSB, approaching the 3 o'clock hour here on WSB Stony Brook at 90.1 FM and W297BM Stony Brook at 107.3 or on WSB FM. But if you are listening on the computer, you know that already. So, what do we have in store for you? We do have, well, we're still a couple minutes away from Albany, Maine, but we do have one final in the books in America East Softball. And the Hartford Hawks, they played 3 runs in the 4th, took a 4-3 lead, and made it stick. The final in Game 1 between them and the Binghamton Bearcats, Hartford wins it. So, continuing on, we have that in the books, and continue and taking a look at what the rest of the day has in store for you. Another UMass Lowell and Maine, they will play Saturday, Sunday, so they play tomorrow. But we do have some baseball scores. Actually, they're going to be coming up soon because the full slate is there. Of course, UMBC Binghamton, NJIT and Stony Brook, UMass Lowell and Maine, Hartford, and Albany all play tomorrow. More later, we'll send it back.
Back at University Field as we see the Seawolves bat for the first time here in the bottom of the first. My name is James DeLeo alongside Heath Kalb, and we get to see Courtney Coppersmith, the junior pitcher for UMBC, for the first time today. First pitch to Herring is swung on and missed from the high heat as Herring cracks a smile.
Our first time seeing Coppersmith, the lefty, she throws some gas.
So far from what we've seen, just one pitch so far, and you could tell she's got some game. She sets, here's the 0-1. Bunted, popped up in the air, and caught by the catcher in Anna Lonchar, and that's the first out of the inning.
And I'll tell you, James, it is a really good thing that the Seawolves won Game 1. Because with Coppersmith on the mound, her numbers don't even look real. She is 14-2 with a .6 ERA.
Insane.
You heard that right. 0.6 ERA.
So the Seawolves will have to get at least one run if they want to get something going against Coppersmith. As Kyra McFarland steps in, takes a strike as she drew a bunt as well. McFarland in Game 1 went 2 for 3, came around to score twice.
And I just need to expand on this as another pitch is bunted foul
Popped up into the
into
screen.
the net. In 105 innings pitched, and now it's 105 and a third innings pitched for Courtney Coppersmith this year, she has 9 earned runs, 191 strikeouts. These are video game numbers for Courtney Coppersmith.
Any team would love to have her on their team. Here's the 0-2. Swung on and missed. Not even close was McFarland. And quickly, Coppersmith has her first strikeout of the day.
And here comes the battle of the beasts here. Stony Brook's best hitter versus UMBC's best pitcher. This is what we've been waiting for here. And something's got to budge.
Well, one of these two will come out of this at-bat feeling pretty good about themselves.
And this is pitcher versus pitcher today.
First pitch over to Rorick is in there for a strike, 0-1. Rorick in game 1 had a 2-run double in the first inning and a 2-run bomb in the second inning as she finished the day. She finished game 1 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs. Quite a showing for Rorick in game 1. She'll get to show it at the bat, but as well as the plate as she drills one into left field, and that one is absolutely crushed to the left center field.
That one was further than anyone we've seen maybe this whole year.
Melissa Rorick with her 6th home run of the season off of Courtney Coppersmith as she nods her head as she touches home plate. And the Seawolves take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first.
Something had to budge, and it was Courtney Coppersmith's ERA.
Like I said, one of those players is going to come out feeling good about themselves, and it was Melissa Rorick.
Let me correct myself. That's 105 innings and 10 earned runs now. Melissa Rorick with her 2nd home run of the day, her 3rd extra base hit of the day in her 4th at-bat, and her 5th RBI of the day. She is one heck of a player, and even though it's not the game that senior day was, it's still senior day, and she is showing out.
And that actually drew a mound visit from UMBC.
Yeah, if your pitcher who has a .6 ERA gives up a shot that was probably 35, 40 feet behind center field, it's going to draw a mound visit.
Similar spot to where she hit her home run in game 1, but
this one was further.
Much deeper.
Much deeper. The one in game 1 was
just over the fence.
Higher up. This one was a line drive. It got out of here quick, and there was no doubt about it.
So the Seawolves, who, if they win this game, they take the America East regular season title over the Retrievers.
That was Rorick's 5th home run of the season, by the way. I'm almost surprised that's not higher.
First pitch to Nicole Mccarville is swung on and missed. So here we go, a 1-0 game here in the bottom of the first. Seawolves getting an early run off of Courtney Coppersmith. The second pitch is bunted back to Coppersmith. She gets up, throws on to first. Oh, a little collision at first base. The out is made, and McCarville is set aside to retire the side. So the Seawolves get a run on an absolute bomb from Melissa Rorick. She'll go back out there for the second inning, and we'll be back on 90.1 WUSB. The Seawolves lead 1-0 over UMBC. Back to you, Matt, in the studio before we come back.
And back in the studios of WUSB, time for an update. Okay, just underway in the top of the first, Albany and Maine, no score there. And, of course, one game in the books, Hartford and Binghamton. Hartford wins it 4-3. They do play another game. See if we have anything on that. And that game has not started yet, so we'll have that for you later. In the meantime, one game going on Major League Baseball at Wrigley Field. And we're in the top of the third. Cubs lead the Pirates 2-0. 7 o'clock starts or thereabouts, because everybody can see 7:05 or 7:10. But Red Sox and Orioles, Nationals and Yankees in the stadium, Reds and Indians, Mets host the D-backs, Twins and the Tigers, Brewers and Marlins, Phillies and Braves. Your Central Time Zone games, Mariners and Rangers, Blue Jays, Astros, White Sox and Royals, Rockies and Cardinals. Out in the Pacific, Dodgers and the Angels, Rays and the A's, and the Padres and the Giants. NHL, Stars and Lightning, Flyers, Capitals, Red Wings, Blue Jackets, Ducks and Wild, Blues and Golden Knights, Avalanche, Kings, Coyotes, Sharks, and the Knicks are in action against the Phoenix Suns later on tonight out in the Pacific time zone as well. Let's send it back.
Back at University Field, here we go in the top of the second inning. The Seawolves holding on to a 1-0 lead after a home run from Melissa Rarick, the pitcher, who throws over to Casey Turner. First pitch is a strike. So Melissa Rarick doing it at the bat on the offensive side in both games. And now she goes to work for the second inning on the mound. 0-1 is chopped foul behind her. And it's 0-2 now. Casey Turner in Game 1 batted in the 7th spot. Today she moves up in Game 2 to the 5 spot in Game 1. She was one of the bright spots for the Retrievers. She hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 5th to give the Retrievers their first 2 runs and only runs, where they were later leave the bases loaded and were mercied to lose. That 0-2 pitch is chopped foul. Casey Turner hit her home run. That was her first of the season, so congratulations to her. She gets her first at-bat here in Game 2 against Melissa Rarick. Rarick sets. 0-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Rarick comes back to strike out Casey Turner for her first strikeout of the day. And that'll bring up Ashley DeLaGuardia.
Not much more you could ask for Rarick to do to help this team out today.
She's got a long way to go, but it's a good start for her so far. Hitting her 6th home run of the season back there in the bottom of the first. As in steps DeLaGuardia. First pitch from Rarick. Swung on and missed. Rarick really dealing early on in this game. She gets some hype from her infielders as they approach the pitcher's circle and jaw away at her. In a good way, of course. Here's the 0-1. Outside and up for ball 1. DeLaGuardia in Game 1 batted 3rd. She struck out 3 times. Probably the reason why she's moved down 3 spots to the 6 hole. All 3 at-bats she struck out back there in Game 1. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. 2 swings and misses so far from Rarick against DeLaGuardia. Coming back after some high heat to go with the breaking ball to get DeLaGuardia swinging. Here comes the 1-2. Chopped to the left side, picked up by the third baseman Craig. Throw on to first, and DeLaGuardia is retired. Nice play there from Craig, as no play from the left side is easy to make over to first with this shorter field than baseball. It's only 60 feet to first instead of 90.
Which makes these plays much tougher for these infielders in softball because they needed to get it in their glove and get it to first as quick as possible. And Riley Craig has been really, really solid today in both games.
So that'll bring up Anna Lonchar, the opposing catcher, as she drills one into left field. There is Shauna Nuss. She makes the catch, so that at-bat only took 1 pitch, and the Retrievers are set aside in order in the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second as the Seawolves will look to expand on their 1-0 lead. We go to the bottom of the second. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB Radio. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And back in the studios of WUSB, let's get you up to date on everything. First of all, NBA full schedule. You got the Pelicans taking on the Sixers tonight at 7:30, Celtics and Bulls, 8 p.m., Magic and Hornets. Also, the Minnesota Timberwolves and Miami Heat tip off at 8. Same thing for the Houston Rockets and Milwaukee Bucks, Cleveland Cavaliers and Dallas Mavericks at 8:30. 9, you got Denver Nuggets and Utah Jazz. 10 p.m., the Knicks and the Phoenix Suns. And the LA Lakers take on the Portland Trailblazers up there at 10 p.m. And the Sacramento Kings host the San Antonio Spurs at 10 as well. Also want to remind everyone of course, in the semifinal win yesterday against UMBC. The Stony Brook Seawolves breezed into the America East Finals after a slow start. They were actually behind a little bit in the first half, but for their 8th straight conference title is in the books. They will host second seed UAlbany. The first draw control is at 1 p.m., but we will be on at 12:45. And then baseball on Sunday. Let's send it back to softball now.
Back at University Field here on the campus of Stony Brook. My name is James D'Elia alongside Heath Kalb as we go to the bottom of the second. Seawolves look to expand on their 1-0 lead against UMBC and their ace pitcher Courtney Coppersmith as Lindsay Osmer steps in and takes strike one. Lindsay Osmer in game one, also batted in the 5th spot as the DP as she pops one up to the right side. Over to the side goes Obispo, and she makes the catch. Obispo, first time we're seeing her. She's not batting in the lineup, but she's playing second base for the Retrievers. So she makes the play, and Osmer is retired.
Yeah, so she's almost like a designated fielder today.
Right.
Because Coppersmith will be batting for her, and she made a tough play there.
Going to her right.
Yeah, as Osmer popped out just right behind first base, right in that kind of tough zone where either the right fielder, second baseman, or first baseman could have made that play. But a lot of times that's easiest for the second baseman who's running in that direction to get there.
First pitch to Nowakowski was swung on and missed, and so is the second one. So Coppersmith coming with some heat here against Jordan Nowakowski.
And Coppersmith throwing these like rising pitches, it just baffles these hitters, especially with the velocity that she has.
And that 0-2 is swung on and missed. So 3 swings and misses, and Coppersmith takes care of Nowakowski that quickly. And that'll bring up Riley Craig, the third baseman.
If it wasn't for Melissa Rarick's smash to center field in the bottom of the first, the other 5 hitters have just been crushed by Coppersmith here.
She does look good other than that one error she made to Rarick. First pitch over to Craig is in there for strike one.
And
Riley Craig in game one was actually the only Seawolf to not have been retired. She went 3 for 3, also had 3 RBIs. She takes that one upstairs for ball one. Coppersmith also has one of those notes on her arm as the 1-1 is swung on and missed. Another high rising fastball from Coppersmith.
It is interesting that every single UMBC pitcher we've seen has that armband that we usually see with like college quarterbacks.
Right. Yeah, we mentioned that in game one. It's an interesting tactic. Here's the 1-2, swung on and missed, strike 3, and just like that, the Seawolves are set aside in the bottom of the second. So no runs, no hits, nobody left on. Seawolves are set aside 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. We go to the top of the third. Seawolves still up 1-0 over the UMBC Retrievers. We'll be right back on 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio before we come back.
Okay, guys, back in the studios of WUSB. We'll get you up to date on the one game going on, and right now that we know for sure the America East that has started. We're in the bottom of the first with 2 out between Albany and Maine up in Orono, and there's no score there. Now, Binghamton Hartford, see if we can get going. That has not started yet, game 2. Hartford did pull out a 4-3 victory in game 1. That's your softball for today. Baseball is going to be a full slate, but most importantly, the Stony Brook Seawolves will be taking on the NJIT Highlanders. And if you're a real baseball fan, you know Highlanders was the original name of the New York Yankees, but they didn't play in Jersey, fortunately. But continuing on, we do have, of course, a women's lacrosse game tomorrow, and setting the scene for that, well, first of all, Allie Kennedy finished with 7 goals. That matches an America East tournament record. Pulls even with Kylie Oldmiller, who was in attendance for a second in program history at 252. Of course, her sister Taryn also on the team, and she contributed 5 goals. But let's turn it to softball right now. Guys, take it away.
Back at University Field here in the top of the third inning. Seawolves lead over the UMBC Retrievers 1-0 after a home run from Melissa Rorick is proving to be the difference so far. She's on the mound pitching for the Seawolves as in steps Megan Dempsey. First pitch to her is grounded up the middle. Diving play by Mccarville is not enough as it gets through the hole. And for one pitch, and Megan Dempsey is on to first base with the Retrievers' first hit of the day, of game 2, I should say.
Really solid effort by Mccarville there. Laid out, but not able to make the play.
So that'll bring up Courtney Coppersmith, the opposing pitcher. So another pitcher's duel. We saw what happened when the opposing pitcher, Courtney Coppersmith, came up against Rorick in the first inning, as the first pitch over to Coppersmith is fouled off. So the first pitcher's duel, advantage Rorick. We'll see what round 2 has on the other side. Coppersmith did not play in game 1, but she has a .322 batting average. She did not play in the field, I should say. She batted 5th in game 1 as a designated player. Here's the 0-1. She bunted and went around, was unable to make contact on the high fastball. So interesting, usually those pullbacks are very generous from the umpires, but this time she held her bunt, unable to make contact, and it's 0-2.
And both of these players about as valuable as possible for their respective teams.
0-2 is swung on and missed, not even close was Coppersmith on that one. So round 2, advantage Rorick. She's 2-0 against her opposing pitcher, Courtney Coppersmith.
That one's got to feel really good for Rorick there.
So back to the top of the lineup we go. Maddie Diagnew will step in with a runner on first and 1 out as Rorick gets her second strikeout of the game. That first pitch is grounded to second, picked up by McFarland. She'll go to first with it and get the easy out as Dempsey moves on to second. So a runner on second, 2 outs. Another quick at-bat there from Rorick. And that'll bring up Julia Keffler for the second time. Keffler in the first inning was ruled out on leaving the batter's box and the ball hitting her. So a little bit of an interference out as she didn't like. So she'll get a little chance of redemption right here as the first pitch is grounded to the right side. McFarland's there again. She picks it up to get the speedy Keffler in time to retire the side. So a quick inning after the leadoff single from Megan Dempsey. Rorick comes back to set the other 3 aside. And we'll go to the bottom of the third. Seawolves still leading 1-0 over the UMBC Retrievers. We'll be right back. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And thank you very much, guys. Here's the latest from Albany, Maine. Top 2 now, still no score. And, of course, Hartford and Binghamton, game 2. Still awaiting word on when that's going to start. I don't have any score up for it yet, but continuing on with some stories that we have been following. Now, this is a very tragic story coming out of football. Texas linebacker Jake Ellinger, the 20-year-old younger brother of former Longhorns quarterback Sam Ellinger, was found dead on Thursday, according to police in Austin. The Austin PD said it received a call at 12:18 p.m. local time in response to the 1200 block of West 22nd Street. And the body was identified, who was a redshirt sophomore. No cause of death was released, and police said the death was not considered suspicious. Another tragedy for the Ellinger family. Sam and Jake's father, Ross, died in 2013 during a triathlon in San Francisco from a heart attack at age 46. Both sons dreamed of playing for the Longhorns after growing up as season ticket holders. Only 5 days ago, Jake was celebrating with Sam and his sister Morgan after Sam was drafted by the Colts in the 6th round of the NFL draft. Let's send it back.
Back at University Field here in the bottom of the third. This is James D'Elia alongside Heath Kalb, my color commentator, as Juliana Sanzone steps in. First pitch to her was a ball, and that pitch is in there for a strike 1, so 1-1 the count. Sanzone, the 8 hitter, also batted 8th back in game 1. Same lineup for the Seawolves, just a little bit of different positions as game 1. The 1-1 is popped in the air. Calling it off is the third baseman Turner. She makes the catch in foul territory, and Sanzone is retired for out number 1. That'll bring up the right fielder Shauna Nuss in the 9th spot, and Jordan Herring, the one hitter, will be on deck. So Coppersmith, after giving up that first home run, has not allowed a base runner since back in the first inning. First pitch over to Nuss is bunted, picked up by Coppersmith, and she gets Nuss at first by a stride. And just like that, 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 3rd for the Seawolves.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that one mistake of a pitch that Coppersmith makes is the only one she makes all of today. And sometimes that's all it takes for your team to lose.
As we see many times with the Mets,
with Jacob DeGrom.
Yesterday, the same thing happened with Garrett Cole of the Yankees. He had a stellar outing, and the bullpen came in and blew it.
And that's what was so nice about the Seawolves game in Game 1 is they had their ace pitcher on the mound, Don Bodrick, and they performed well to plate.
Plenty of offense as they won 11-2. That pitch was fouled off, and it's 1-1 from Coppersmith over to Herring. Herring in the first inning bunted and popped up to the catcher. So she's 0 for 1. Gets her second chance here against Coppersmith. So Coppersmith, after that home run, that ERA her ERA was boosted from .60 to .65. So
wow, what an atrocious year she's having now.
So I'm sure she's
.65.
kicking herself for that one. The 1-1 is swung on and missed from Herring, and it's 1-2. So Coppersmith really settling down here after giving up that home run to Melissa Rorick, her opposing pitcher, in the first inning. So that's where we sit right now, 1-0. Both teams only have 1 hit each. So a pitcher's duel seems to be on its way. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Not even close was
These half innings have been quick with these pitchers.
Seawolves are set aside 1-2-3 once again in the bottom of the 3rd. We go to the top of the 4th. Seawolves still holding on to that 1-0 lead. We'll be right back on 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And back in the studios of WUSB, Matt Mankiewicz here. Time for another update, and Binghamton Hartford, well, waiting for that second game to start. Now, we are in the top of the 2nd, however, up in Maine, and UAlbany in Maine, no score. Keeping busy as we continue on to the one game going on in Major League Baseball.
Left fielder, she grounded out to 3rd her first time up, as Melissa Rorick starts her 4th inning of work for the Seawolves in a 1-0 game that they lead. James DeLeo alongside Heath Kalb as we get set. Here's a ground ball up the middle, diving play by Mccarville, but there's no shot. McFarland, no chance to get the speedy Pierce at first base. So leadoff infield single for Sierra Pierce as the Retrievers get their second hit of the day and their first runner on here in the 4th inning. That'll bring up the designated player, Madison Wilson. She did not play in Game 1. She grounded out back to Rorick her first time up. So 1 runner on first base, that is. Nobody out. Rorick sets. Here's the first pitch to Wilson. Swung on and missed. Wilson really not connecting, as we saw in the first inning. Had some trouble connecting on Rorick's pitches.
And this can't be stressed enough, but Rorick really needs to be careful because with Courtney Coppersmith pitching for UMBC today, you really don't want to go down.
Here's the 0-1 drilled into right field, and that one will be caught by the right fielder, Nuss. Throw back onto first, and into diving is Pierce to be safe at first. But what a play there by Shauna Nuss in right field to get the dive out and make the play.
It looked like she tripped over her own feet, so she got a bad jump on the ball, got up, dove for it, and caught it, and then was able to almost make a play at first for the double play. But either way, really, really solid job by Shauna Nuss.
So a big out there preventing the first 2 runners from getting on. So a runner still on first in Sierra Pierce, and that'll bring up Casey Turner for the 2nd time. She struck out in the 2nd inning. First pitch to her is fouled off. Turner batting in the 5 hole, the third baseman, batting .237 on the season. So Rorik, after giving up the first hit, gets a beautiful play from her defense in Shauna Nuss in the right field to get the first out. So like you said, any one hit could be dangerous for these Retrievers, as any runs could be the difference. Here's the 0-1 drilled into left field. That one is deep, and it'll be off the wall in left center field. On to third goes Pierce, and she will stop there. So a double from Casey Turner. There's runners on second and third here with one out, and Melissa Rorik's in trouble here in the top of the 4th.
Well, she was able to get out of trouble in the top of the 1st with the leadoff hitter, Meta Diagno, getting on to second. And so she just needs 2 outs here.
Tall task for this Seawolves defense, as this UMBC defense likes to hit.
So the Stony Brook infield will play in here to try to save a run on a ground ball.
1 out, runners on second and third. First pitch to the first baseman, Ashley De La Guardia, is low for ball 1 in the second inning. De La Guardia's first time up, she grounded out to third.
So De La Guardia is going to try to fly one, if you see what I did there.
I got it. Maybe the audience listening will understand the airport reference. Here's the 1-0, grounded to second, picked up by McFarland to get the out at first, and the runners will hold at second and third. So just what the doctor ordered from Melissa Rorik. Now there's 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, with runners still on second and third.
And De La Guardia's flight was grounded.
Canceled, I should say.
It's canceled. But either way, really, really good job there by the Seawolves defense, and that's why playing in is so important there. Saves a run, gets a second out, and now you don't even worry about the base runners. Just get an out here.
So that'll bring up Anna Lonchar, the catcher for UMBC. Her first deliver is a strike from Rorik. So, I mean, Pierce on third base definitely could have tried to score there, but it would have been a very close
Could have,
play.
but she's also risking a double play to end the inning there.
So in any case, she's still on third base. Turner on second, as that pitch is grounded back to second. It's going to be a tough play, throw on to first, and they got her at first. So no runs are scored from the Retrievers offense, and Melissa Rorik gets out of the inning unscathed. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Seawolves still holding on to that 1-0 lead. We'll be right back on 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And back in the studios of WUSB, Matt Mankiewicz here. Latest from Albany, Maine. Still in the bottom of the second with 2 out. Latest we have here, no score. And no development there. But we're still following more stories here as the day goes on. And according to sources, Tom Wilson reached out to Artemi Panarin in the aftermath of the most talked about incident in hockey this week and says he's ready to move on. In his first interview since the scrum against the Rangers that left Panarin injured led to a $5,000 fine and sparked a fight-filled rematch 2 nights later. The Capitals forward said Friday he is good to go after an upper body injury and glad the New York Star is doing better. Wilson drew the ire of much of the NHL for his role in a scrum Monday night the Rangers said caused Panarin to miss the final 3 games of the regular season with a lower body injury. He was fined $5,000, and the Rangers protested and were fined $250,000 for saying disciplinary czar George Parros wasn't fit to remain in his job. Let's send it back.
Back at University Field as we go to the bottom of the 4th here, as the Seawolves lead over the UMBC Retrievers 1-0 after a home run from Melissa Rorik in the first inning proves to be the difference so far. Courtney Coppersmith sets in for her 4th inning of work. And in steps Kyra McFarland, the 2-hitter, playing second base. Made 2 great plays back there in the top of the 4th inning to get the Seawolves out of the inning unscathed. So she'll get a chance at the bat now. The 1-0 is upstairs for ball. Excuse me, it was a 0-1, so now it's 1-1. That one was upstairs.
So Kira McFarland, who plays second base, bats second, and made those two unbelievable plays who might have saved 2 runs. Where's number 20?
A lot of twos in her life there, and she drills one into right field. A little easy play there for the right fielder, Dempsey. And she puts McFarland aside for the second time. And that'll bring up today's player of the game so far.
Well,
and, of both games so far,
yeah,
Melissa Rarick.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're looking for a souvenir, I'd say run about 60 feet behind center field right now, and you may be able to get a softball for $3.99.
First pitch from Coppersmith to Melissa Rarick is a ball. So both times these two pitchers have faced each other, both once on offense, once on defense. Melissa Rarick won the battle. So this is their third chance against each other. 1-0 in there for strike one.
And that one battle is the difference in the game right now, and it's held. Because both pitchers have been dominant. And except for that one pitch to Rarick that she smashed to center field in the bottom of the first.
One of the best hit balls I'd say I've seen by the Seawolves this season, as that one is grounded to the left side through the hole as it got past the third baseman, shortstop Diagnew. Right through her legs, it looked like.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they'll count that as an error or a single, but either way, Rarick hits it so hard, it's going to inevitably be a tough play, as it is scored an error. But that's not an easy play for the shortstop, Maddie Diagnew.
Yeah, either way, she was going to her right, had to stop, throw one to first by the time she got there. Would have been a tough play to get Rarick. Either way, Rarick's on first base, and the Seawolves have one out. And Nicole Mccarville will get her second chance here against Courtney Coppersmith. So Seawolves looking to extend their lead here against Coppersmith. Here's the 1-0 outside for ball 2. So an E6 on that last play, as Diagnew unable to make the play to get Melissa Rarick.
And insurance runs here are just so big.
2-0
So
in their first strike.
If McCarville could find something over the plate.
The count is 1-2, actually. One of those pitches was called a strike. So 1-2 now to Nicole Mccarville, who grounded out to second her first time up. Here it comes, swung on and fouled back. So Rarick on first, 1 out. Nicole Mccarville with her second chance of this game. In game 1, she batted in the 4-hole as well. She went 1 for 2, came around to score twice after being hit in the second inning. So 2 runs for her in game 1 after an explosion of offense by that whole team. Here's the 1-2, swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Coppersmith has her 5th strikeout of the game. Mccarville swung on that pitch and quickly jogged back to the dugout as she knew she had been beat.
Yeah, McCarville, as well as several of her teammates, have had real trouble with Coppersmith's high fastballs.
The one bright spot, Melissa Rarick stands on first base. In a 1-0 game, the Seawolves lead, as that first pitch to Lindsay Osmer is outside for ball 1. Not a very vocal home plate umpire, so a little bit tough determining balls and strikes here for us, but we'll do the best we can compared to game 1. Here's the 1-0, swung on and missed. A little late on that one was Osmer from the fastball from Coppersmith, and it's 1-1. Coppersmith sets. Here's the 1-1. In there for a strike. That time you heard the home plate umpire. 1-2 now with 2 outs. Runner on first in Rarick.
Yeah, he might have heard you, James.
I hope so. Makes it easier for us. So here's the 1-2 from Coppersmith upstairs. Very inside for ball 2. Coppersmith, after striking out McCarville, gets her 196th strikeout of the season. She's inching towards that 200 mark on the season after just 108 2/3 innings pitched. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. And there's strikeout number 197 for Courtney Coppersmith on the season. The Seawolves are set aside. in the bottom of the fourth after an error, one left on, and no runs. Seawolves still lead 1-0 over the Retrievers. We go to the top of the fifth in a 1-0 game. Back to you, Matt, in the studio. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM.
And back in the studios of WUSB, time for an update. We're still in the third, and with 2 out, Albany and Maine, top of the third that is, Albany and Maine, still no score in the other America East game we're monitoring. And finally, Binghamton and Hartford are underway in game 2. They're in the top of the first, 2 out, and no score there either. As you know by now, the Stony Brook Seawolves women's lacrosse team has advanced to the final. 25-13 win over 4th seed UMBC yesterday at Laval Stadium. They will take on Albany tomorrow. First draw will be at 1 o'clock, and we will be on at 12:45, bringing you all the action live. And then continuing on with baseball, the baseball matchups, you got a full slate there going into the weekend. And naturally, the Seawolves take on a team that took 3 out of 4 from them last time they met. That is NJIT, the Highlanders. But right now, we're going to send it back to the game at hand, Stony Brook and UMBC.
Back here at University Field as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Seawolves still leading 1-0 as the Melissa Rarick home run in the first inning, solo home run, is proving to be the difference. She's out there on the mound for her 5th inning of work. First pitch to the 8-hitter, Megan Dempsey, is low for ball 1. Dempsey has one of the 3 hits for the Retrievers as she singled back in the 3rd inning. Did not come around to score. As the Seawolves still holding on to that 1-0 lead. Here's the 1-0 in there for a strike. And it's 1-1. So last inning, the Retrievers got some base runners. Runners even got to 2nd and 3rd after the double from Casey Turner. But 2 nice plays by the second baseman, McFarland. As this one is grounded her way, right on cue, and she makes her 3rd straight play to get the first out on Megan Dempsey. So the last 3 outs for the Retrievers have all been on the way of the second baseman, Kyra McFarland. So that's 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Seawolves still leading 1-0, as that'll bring up the opposing pitcher, Courtney Coppersmith, in the 9-hole.
Yeah, McFarland's had a busy day, and I think this game's going to go 7 innings, James, unlike last one.
Last game, as you know, went only 4.5 innings, as the Seawolves mercied UMBC by a final score of 11-2. After the 5th inning, if a team is leading by 8, it can be ruled a mercy, and that ends the game right there. Here's the 1-0, and it's grounded back to Rarick. She makes the easy toss over to first, and quickly there are 2 outs, and Coppersmith is retired. So we go back to the top of the lineup. Maddie Diagnew will come up. She's 0 for 2, did reach on an error back in the 1st inning.
So now Rarick and Coppersmith have faced off 4 times, 2 each hitting and 2 each pitching, and Rarick's 4-0 right now.
She is. Even though that last hit for Rarick was deemed an error, Rarick still got on base, which is what Coppersmith would like to avoid. So the first pitch to the 1 leadoff hitter of the game, Diagnew, is outside for ball 1. So Rarick looking to keep up these battles against all the UMBC players, as the 1-0 is chopped foul. Throw over from Jordan Nowakowski just to make sure. Always playing to the whistle, right, Heath?
Yep. And Nowakowski played
early.
about 6 seconds after the whistle there. But
Never
she would have gotten the out.
Definitely would have. In any case, it's 1-1 after the foul. Rarick sets. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and drilled into left field. That one will be foul. Little late on the swing there from Diagnew, or she would have had herself an extra base hit off of Rarick. In any case, it's 1-2.
As Diagnew continues the battle here, The sun is starting to peek through the clouds here at University Field. Starting to feel more like a late spring day.
Seems like the sun is shining on the Seawolves, if you want to put it that way. Here's the 1-2 upstairs for ball 2. Heath, you seem to have forgotten your hat, so I hope the sun doesn't become an issue for you,
I have it right here.
in case you need
And
it.
I have my SPF 45 sunscreen here.
Rarick sets. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and popped foul.
Yeah, if I had longer arms, I would have caught that one.
Seems like you might have made that joke earlier. Rarick looking to get her third strikeout of the day against Diagnew. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on and chopped foul. Defensive swing there from Diagnew to stay alive. Good at bat here from the shortstop. Senior shortstop batting .340 on the season with 5 RBIs. No home runs, but as we saw in game 1, not impossible to get your first home run of the season, as we saw with Casey Turner. Here's 2-2, and it's low, and Maddie Diagnew coming back and battling, and it's a full count now.
Yeah, Diagnew really has had a long at-bat here. This has to be double-digit pitches in this at-bat. And that's what you'd like to see off your leadoff hitter.
So who will win this battle between Rarick and Diagnew? Rarick sets, here it comes, grounded to short, picked up by the shortstop Mccarville. She gets the out, and the side is retired. So the UMBC Retrievers are set aside 1-2-3 in the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th. The Seawolves still leading 1-0 over the Retrievers. We'll be right back. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And back in the studios of WSB, Matt Mankiewicz here. And we'll check up on Binghamton, Hartford. We're in the bottom of the 1st right now with 1 out. No score, Hartford batting. And that is game 2. Hartford won the first one 4-3. Single game for Albany and Maine. They're in the top of the 4th with nobody out. And guess what? No score there either. But we continue on because we do like to keep you abreast of everything going on in baseball in particular, because there is one game still going on. Bottom of the 3rd. Actually, we see we get an update on that. Top 5. Oh, there we go. 3-0 Cubs still. We have, of course, a full slate of Major League Baseball action. Red Sox and Orioles, Nationals and Yankees, Reds and Indians, D-backs and Mets, Twins and Tigers, Brewers and Marlins. Phillies and Braves are your Eastern time zone games. Your Central games, Mariners, Rangers, Blue Jays, Astros, White Sox, Royals, Rockies, Cardinals. And your West Coast games, Dodgers, Angels, Rays, Athletics, Padres, and Giants. Also, the Knicks are in Phoenix. The local NHL teams are idle. Let's send it back.
Back here at University Field on the campus of Stony Brook, James DeLeo alongside Heath Kalb as we are in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jordan Nowakowski leads off against Courtney Coppersmith in her 5th inning of work. Nowakowski was a victim of a strikeout back in the 2nd inning as she swings and misses, and the count is 1-1 against Coppersmith. Nowakowski with a .289 average, 6 home runs on the season to lead the Seawolves to go with 21 RBIs. The senior catcher on senior day. Here's the 1-1 upstairs for ball 2. You hear the loud cheers from the Stony Brook dugout as they look to get some more runs against this ace pitcher for UMBC. Here's the 2-1 swung on and missed. Coppersmith fooled Nowakowski right there on that breaking ball.
Yeah, Nowakowski goes from a really high fastball to an off-speed pitch in the dirt. It's almost impossible for Nowakowski to pick up on.
And no shot she was going to hit that. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 7 strikeouts now for Courtney Coppersmith as there is 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Seawolves still leading 1-0 over the UMBC Retrievers. That'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Riley Craig. Craig, the senior, batting .204, having a great start to this day so far back in game 1. struck out in game 2, though, in her first at-bat. Back in the second inning, she takes strike 1. So Coppersmith with 7 strikeouts on the day, 198. She's getting that much closer to 200 on the season, which is a great milestone to hit for her. Here's the 0-1, swung on and grounded to the right side, through the hole for a base hit. Riley Craig is on to first with a 1-out single. So Craig not having the best season so far, batting only just .204, but has 4 hits in 5 at-bats today.
Nice piece of hitting for Riley Craig, right to the right of the first baseman. And that's where, if you're playing on the baseball diamond and there's shifts, that's not going to be a hit.
No shift on against Craig there as Juliana Sanzone steps in with a runner on first and 1 out and takes strike 1 from Coppersmith. So the Seawolves putting the bat on the ball against Coppersmith. Not a lot of teams are able to do that. Here's the 0-1, swung on and missed on a high fastball. Sanzone knows she missed on that one.
Yeah, once again, these high fastballs are just fooling the Seawolves. Right off the hands of Coppersmith, it has to look like such an inviting pitch, and then it just keeps rising and rising until it's a foot above the strike zone as Sanzone strikes out to that same exact pitch. Right there. And it's 199 for Coppersmith.
Another high heat fastball from Coppersmith. And like Heath said, number 199 on the season, number 8 on the day for Coppersmith. 8 strikeouts. But the Seawolves still leading 1-0 after the home run from Melissa Rorick back in the first inning. It's proven to be the difference so far in this 7-inning game. We're already in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up Shauna Nuss. She bunts, and it is lined back to the Coppersmith, the pitcher. And just like that, the bottom of the 5th is over. So we go to the top of the 6th. Seawolves still leading 1-0 over the UMBC Retrievers. We'll be right back. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And back in the studios, WSB update time for Binghamton. Hartford top 2, 1 out, no score. Binghamton batting, and Albany, Maine top 4, 2 out, no score. Pretty quiet. Cubs and Pirates, on the other hand, bottom 5th. Cubs lead 3-0 at Wrigley Field. And the Yankees are home against the Nationals tonight, 7:05. Mets are home against the D-backs. Turning now to the NBA. As we said, the Knicks are home against the Phoenix Suns, but Pelicans got the Sixers on the road at 7. The Bulls take on the Boston Celtics at 7:30. Your Central Time games, once again, are Orlando, Charlotte, Minnesota, Miami, Houston, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Dallas, Denver, Utah in the Mountain Time Zone, and, as I said, Knicks, Phoenix, Lakers, and Portland Trail Blazers, and Spurs, and Kings. Sacramento Kings, that is. The LA Kings also play, but no locals in the NHL. So, of course, women's lacrosse tomorrow. Democracy Now! Will probably start on time, unless this game goes into extras. And, of course, baseball on Sunday. Let's send it back.
Back here at University Field, top of the 6th, we go in this 7-inning game of Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Seawolves and the Retrievers. Seawolves still leading 1-0 as the home run by Melissa Rorick, the Stony Brook pitcher in the first inning, has proven to be the difference. A 1-0 game as Julia Kepler steps in for her 3rd at-bat of the game. The 1-0 is fouled back, and it's 1-1. So a little bit of change for the Seawolves in the outfield. Alina Lance comes in to relieve Juliana Sanzone out in left field. So Lance coming in. A little bit of a strange thing after Sanzone struck out in the 5th. Maybe Seawolves wanted to make a little bit of a change. In any case, it's 1-1. Here's the pitch. Seems like that was outside for ball 2.
Seawolves teammates encouraging Rorick, telling her that was a great pitch. But nevertheless, moral of the story, Seawolves need 6 outs to clinch this regular season championship.
2-1 is low for ball 3. Seawolves took game 1 11-2. The winner of this series, whoever wins at least 2 out of the 3 games, will clinch the America East Championship regular season title and receive the 1 seed before the championship. That one is drilled into left field. That one is deep. Going back is the left fielder Lance, and she makes the catch. What a beautiful play there.
And she just entered the game.
Alina Lance enters the game, and what a beautiful play there from Lance out in left field. A diving play to save an extra base hit off the bat of Julia Keffler. And just like that, there's 1 out here in the top of the 6th.
Genius from the Stony Brook dugout to bring her in just to make the play of the day out in left field. Saves at least a double there.
That got me excited. The Seawolf bench erupted as Lance made that catch. So in will step Pierce, and she drills one into right field. The opposite side, no way is the right fielder Nuss going to get there. It drops down on the second, and the throw on the second. She got her at second!
Wow, unbelievable job. Shauna Nuss to Kira McFarland to Nicole Mccarville, and Kira McFarland makes a really solid job as the cutoff person. And they're talking it over, and UMBC's coaching staff is not happy about this. But from my vantage point, that looked like an out, and that's 2 outs here in the top of the 6th.
So that'll go down as a hit, and out at second is Pierce trying to advance.
So 2 straight really well-hit balls from this UMBC team from Keffler and Pierce, and they get nothing out of it, nothing to show for it.
So the Seawolves defense coming out to play here in the 6th inning, as they are just 4 outs away from clinching the America East Championship of the regular season. So in will step Madison Wilson. She swings and grounds one to the right side. A diving stop by McFarland, not enough as it gets through the hole. It hit off her glove and went into the right field, outfield. So the UMBC Retrievers get a base runner here in the top of the 6th. And they could have definitely had a lot more if it wasn't for some defense by the Seawolves.
There were for sure some runs saved there. As it looks like UMBC is going to bring in a pinch runner here. They're going to bring in number 21, who is
second baseman.
Chloe Obispo.
Yeah, second baseman. As you just heard from the home plate umpire right there. So Madison Wilson jogs on to the dugout. Chloe Obispo, the UMBC second baseman, not in the starting lineup batting, but she's on the field right now on first base.
And down 1 run in the top of the 6th with 2 outs. You need the fastest player out there possible right now.
1 run here could tie the game as the first pitch to Casey Turner is in there for a strike. Turner's 1 for 2. She doubled back in the 4th inning to set the Retrievers up for a big inning where they did not score, unfortunately. So runner on first, 2 outs. Rorick sets. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and grounded to the left side. Picked up by the third baseman, Riley Craig. Throw on to first, and she got her at first. So UMBC side is retired. Seawolves 3 outs away from clinching the America East regular season championship. We go to the bottom of the 6th first, as the Seawolves still lead 1-0 over the Retrievers. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
And back in the studios of WSB, let's take a look at some softball. Okay, should be in the 3rd by now. No, we're still in the 2nd inning. Hartford and Binghamton, no score. And Albany, Maine, still no score there. They're in the top of the 5th. As we said, Hartford has made the decision to downgrade their programs from D1 to D3. They will put in the application to the NCAA in January of 2022, so this season at least is intact this upcoming year starting in September, but they hope to make the transition by 2025. They say they will continue to honor scholarships and employment contracts. However, at some point they will have to cease to issue scholarships, and we wonder when that will be and whether they will stay in the America East Conference. A lot left to be decided on that story, and a lot left to discuss in the sports section every Sunday night from 10 p.m. to midnight. We're going to have a lot to talk about. We will do a post-mortem on the men's lacrosse season we will hopefully have Selection Sunday results for the women if they win tomorrow. But we have a softball game and a possible top seed at stake here, so we'll send it back.
Back here at University Field, and you just missed it, but Jordan Herring just hit an infield single on the first pitch from Courtney Coppersmith. So the Seawolves have a leadoff base runner here, looking to get some insurance runs in the bottom of the sixth as they lead 1-0. James D'Elia alongside Heath Kalb here at University Field as another bunt is drawn. Kyra McFarland throw on to first, and they get the out. Throw back to second, and Herring gets back to second safely. So a bunt by McFarland brings Jordan Herring over to second base, and the Seawolves have a runner in scoring position for, you guessed it, Melissa Rorick.
And McFarland gets the job done. That bunt, it would have been obviously great if she got to first. But to get Herring in scoring position with your stud, Melissa Rorick, up to bat, that's all you need. And here we go. Round 3, Rorick up here in game 2.
First pitch to her from Coppersmith is fouled off. 0-1. So Rorick has won all the battles against Coppersmith so far, both 2 on the field at pitching and 2 at the bat, including that home run back in the first inning, the solo home run, proven to be the difference so far, as it's still 1-0. Here comes the 0-1, swung on and popped foul to the back towards Joe Nathan Field as you hear it hit the bleachers. Luckily, nobody over there. So 0-2 now, 1 out. Runner on second in Jordan Herring. Seawolves looking to add on to this 1-0 lead as the clock is about to strike 4 p.m. Eastern time here at University Field at Stony Brook. Coppersmith sets, here's the 0-2, grounded to the right side and through the hole for a base hit. Rounding third and in to score is Jordan Herring, and the Seawolves take a 2-0 lead as the dugout erupts with excitement. Seawolves lead 2-0 after the RBI single from Melissa Rorick, and guess what? Round 5, Melissa Rorick 5-0 against her opposing pitcher.
What can't she do? Hard hit right into right field. It was a no-brainer that Herring was going to score the whole way. And it's now 2-0. And the 2 is because of Melissa Rorick, and the nothing is because of Melissa Rorick. I feel like I'm watching like a San Francisco Giants game when Madison Bumgarner would throw a complete game and hit a home run and win 1-0.
Pitchers who rake. Love that saying. So Rorick stands on first after delivering on the offensive side and defensive side. It's 2-0, Seawolves lead. Clock just hit 4 p.m. So Nicole Mccarville steps in, draws bunt, takes a strike. So 1 out, runner on first. Nicole Mccarville steps in.
I would like to mention that Stony Brook decided to pinch run for Melissa Rorick. They put in Emma Campbell, who is a sophomore infielder.
So Rorick will take a seat. She'll come back out to pitch back in the top of the 7th as the Seawolves add on and double their lead to 2-0 as they are 3 outs away in the top of the 7th from clinching the America East regular season title over the UMBC softball Retrievers. Here comes the 0-2, swung on and popped up to the second baseman. Obispo is there to make the catch. Runner on first stays, so now there's 2 outs, and that'll bring up Lindsay Osmer, the first baseman. Game 2, she's 0 for 2. So the Seawolves, even if they don't score here, they'll be happy with their results so far, as already got 1 home in the 6th inning as they doubled their lead at 2-0. Lindsay Osmer will look to expand on that. First pitch to her, swung on and missed. Coppersmith got her with a breaking ball. So it's 0-1. So Coppersmith still stuck on that 199 strikeout mark. She's looking to get to 200. Good milestone for her. And now it's 0-2 as Lindsay Osmer swings and misses on another breaking ball. So Coppersmith looking to get her 200th strikeout, as it might seem that this is her last inning of pitching unless UMBC scores at least 2 runs in the top of the 7th. Here comes the 0-2.
Swung on and drilled into right field. That one is deep, but playable for Dempsey. She makes the catch, and the side is retired. So the Seawolves get a run on 2 hits, and Melissa Rorick will go out there to try and clinch the America East regular season title for the Seawolves when we come back. 2-0 Seawolves lead over the Retrievers. Don't go anywhere. We're going to go to the top of the 7th when we come back. You're listening to 90.1 WUSB FM.
Okay, so a couple of games behind the pace here compared to the Seawolves, who get started at 1 o'clock. Top of the third, 2 out. We still have no score between Binghamton and Hartford game 2. Hartford won game 1 of that doubleheader by a score of 4-3. Albany and Maine playing a single game today, but they're in the bottom of the 5th and no score there either. They play a doubleheader tomorrow. Continuing on with Major League Baseball, we are in the bottom of the 6th now at Wrigley Field, and the Cubs have a 3-0 lead still over the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Yankees and the Nationals get going at Yankee Stadium at 7:05. Citi Field has the D-backs and the Mets at 7:10. Also, some injury reports. Gio Urshela is scheduled to get an MRI. So that will result in the recall of Miguel Andujar from AAA Scranton Wilkes-Barre. And right-hander Albert Abreu goes down as well. So Urshela exited Thursday's 7-4 loss to the Astros with a knee injury sustained on diving stop in the 8th inning. And we'll find out the results of that later. But right now, let's send it to the 7th inning.
Here at University Field, the Seawolves lead 2-0 over the UMBC Retrievers. James D'Elia alongside Heath Kalb as the Seawolves are 3 outs away from clinching the America East regular season title and the #1 seed in the America East Softball Championship. So here we go. Herring steps in. First pitch is a strike. Logan Hawker is the hitter. She's pinch hitting for the first baseman Ashley DeLaGuardia as this is the last chance for the Retrievers. Hawker, the junior outfielder. Here's the 0-1, swung on and fouled back, and quickly it's 0-2. Hawker batting .281 on the season.
Really big for Rorick to get ahead in this count so far. You just need 3 outs. It doesn't matter how you get them.
19th game for Hawker, making her 19th appearance. Here comes the 0-2. Swung on and grounded to the left side, off the foot of the third baseman Craig and into left center field. So that'll probably go down as an error, but either way, the Retrievers get the leadoff runner here in the top of the 7th on. So nobody out. Runner on first, and the catcher and a launcher will step in. Seems like actually they might be making a change. A pinch runner.
Well, DeLaGuardia, who didn't hit, is now going to pinch run for where she was going to hit.
So it seems like they're giving Hawker the hit there, as DeLaGuardia will come in relief of her on first base.
The official score, a little friendly to Riley Craig there. The third baseman, as Anna Lonchar is now up.
So Seawolves still 3 outs away from clinching the America East Championship regular season title. First pitch to Lonchar is upstairs for ball 1. So the nerves starting to kick in for both teams. UMBC knows they need to score. Seawolves know they need to shut it down here. Rorick sets. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and drilled. Left side foul. Out of play.
And as Lonchar launches one foul there, how nice was that insurance run by Rorick's RBI single in that last half inning? I mean, just for the psyche of your team right now, to be up 2 instead of 1 going into the bottom of the 7th, it's so huge.
Here's the 1-1. To the backstop it goes, past the catcher Nowakowski, and on to second goes DeLaGuardia. So a wild pitch from Melissa Rorick. And the Retrievers have a runner in scoring position. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Last inning, unless we go to extras for the Retrievers against the Seawolves. Here's the 2-1 drilled into right field. It is deep but playable. Caught by Shauna Nuss. And quick throw onto second, and De La Guardia will stay at second.
And surprisingly so. I mean, that was hit to deep right field where Shauna Nuss made a nice play, but why isn't De La Guardia running the third there, tagging up and running the third?
Seems like she would have made it.
She definitely would have made it, and you get a player on third with one out. I guess it doesn't make that much of a difference down 2 runs.
They do need to, so yeah, I guess I understand it, but...
So I guess not risking it.
In any case, that'll bring up Megan Dempsey, the right fielder. First pitch to her. She draws bunt, but it's holds back, but it's a strike. Dempsey 1 for 2 on the day. Seawolves 2 outs away from clinching the 1 seed and the regular season title for the America East Softball Championship. Here comes the 0-1. Grounded to second. Off the McFarland's body. She picks up and catches, and not in time.
Oh, I don't know. That one was close.
Very close play at first, but Dempsey is called safe. So the Retrievers have runners on the corners here with just 1 out, and they are in business against Melissa Rarick. That one will definitely go down as an error on McFarland as a hit off her body. Stayed in the air. She caught it with a glove, transferred it to her offhand, throw on to first, not able to get the speedy Dempsey. So an E4.
And the pinch runner, Julia Colton, who we saw in Game 1 pinch run, is now coming in, as there's now a mound visit
and we get
around Melissa Rarick.
Another pinch hitter for the Retrievers, as they're making a bunch of changes here on the top of the 7th. Anything they could do to get 2 runs here. As Madison Oberg steps in, the sophomore righty. So runners on the corners with 1 out. Mound visit is over. Now Wachowski retreating back to her catcher position.
And Rarick's gotten out of trouble 2 or 3 times today. This is a good time to do it again. You could give up a run here. You trade it out for a run.
Oberg batting .222 on the season, making her 19th appearance. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Here's the first pitch to her. Fouled back. 0-1. Like Heath said, I agree with you. You definitely trade 1 run if you get an out at second or first here to get 1 out away from winning the game and the season. Winning the season sounds a little weird, doesn't it? But that's what they're looking to do. The regular season, that is. Rarick rubs the ball on her pants, and she sets. Here's the 0-1. That one missed somewhere.
That was just outside, and that's a huge call from the home plate umpire.
Now Wachowski looks back to see where that one missed. And in any case, it's 1-1. Runners on the corner. Seawolves lead 2-0, 2 outs away from securing the regular season America East title. Rarick sets. Here comes the 1-1. Swung on and chopped foul behind her. And Oberg is in a 1-2 spot. The America East Championship begins next week, May 13th. Seawolves will most likely have a bye. And they're hoping to get the number 1 seed. They got to get through the Retrievers first here in the top of the 7th. 2 outs away from securing that 1 seed. Rarick sets. Here comes the 1-2 to Oberg. Outside, the runner goes, and she does not throw it. The throw back to third, and she gets back in safe. So a stolen base.
And now Wachowski faked like she was going to throw to second. And probably correctly so, because if you screw up there, that's a run scored. But now it's scary because a single probably ties this ball game up. So with 2 balls and 2 strikes here, this pitch is about as big as it gets.
And here it comes, 2-2. In there, strike 3 called. Melissa Rarick comes back to get Madison Oberg for the 2nd out, and the Seawolves are 1 out away from securing the America East regular season title. So the pinch hitter Did not work out for the Retrievers as Rarick gets her third strikeout of the day.
And Maddie Dianu is the only person standing in the way between Stony Brook and a regular season championship.
Here's the first pitch. It's off the glove into home, and and the throw is late. So that is not what you want if you're the Seawolves. A run comes home on the wild pitch from Melissa Rarick as De La Guardia comes in, and it's 2-1. And Colton moves over to third. So the tying run just 60 feet away for Maddie Dianu.
I know that they scored there, but that's risky from De La Guardia just to score there.
It honestly
Not even
was a
tied the
close
game up.
play. It was a close play at home. In any case, here's the 1-0. In there for a strike, and it's 1-1.
But now the nerves have to really set in for Nowakowski because you can't let a pitch get back behind you.
I'm a little nervous, too. Can't lie.
Oh, yeah.
So that insurance run in the bottom of the sixth for the Seawolves could be the difference right here. Here comes the 1-1. Grounded up the middle, base hit, and the game is tied. Maddie Dianu comes through with a clutch RBI single as Melissa Rarick kneels at the pitcher circle as this game is brand new here in the top of the seventh.
So we have a tie ball game, and just get it out here. Just get it out here, and the Seawolves have a chance in the bottom of the seventh to win it all. And now, James, if the Seawolves win this game, it's going to be on a walk-off to win the regular season championship.
So in will step Julia Keffler, looking to keep things going for the Retrievers. First pitch to her, the runner goes, throw on to second is late, and Maddie Dianu steals second base. And the Seawolves imploding here on the top of the seventh as this game is tied up 2-2. Seawolves got a home run back in the first inning, a solo home run from Melissa Rarick, who also scored the second run on an RBI single in the bottom of the sixth. But this game is tied. That one is drilled into right field for a base hit. Rounding third is Diana. Here comes the throw home, and it's late. And on to second is Keffler, and she is out at second. But in any case, the Retrievers have taken the lead here in the top of the seventh, and we will go to the bottom of the seventh. The Seawolves are trailing 3-2 as we go to the bottom of the seventh, just like that. We will be back. Don't go anywhere. This game has picked up. We'll be right back on 90.1 WUSB FM for the bottom half of the seventh. Back to you, Matt, in the studio.
Okay, so we do have some games going on, so let's get you up to date on those. We're in the top of the fourth now. Binghamton and Hartford, still no score. And Albany finally got on the board in the top of the sixth with one out. They got 2 runs in and lead it by a score of 2-0. Remember, Albany and Maine played one game today, and of course Hartford won the opener 4-3, and they're scoreless against Binghamton in the second game. Taking a look at Major League Baseball, we do, of course, have one game going on at Wrigley Field, and that is the Cubs leading the Pirates 3-0 top 7. Yankees and Nationals, D-backs and Mets both at home tonight, and we'll be following a whole bunch of other stories as well. But right now the story is, can the Seawolves pull this one out in the bottom of the seventh? We're going to find out. Let's go, guys.
Back here at University Field, and what a turnaround it has been. It is 3-2 Retrievers lead over the Seawolves. James D'Elia alongside Heath Kalb, and Heath, what a game this has been.
And it's not over. And UMBC has been hitting the ball hard this whole day, and the Seawolves defense has saved Rarick. But in that half inning in the top of the seventh, the ball's found the hole, and they scored 3 of the biggest runs, the 3 biggest runs they've had this whole season. But this game's not over. The Seawolves have fireworks in them.
Jordan Nowakowski leads off for the Seawolves. It's an 0-1 count. That one is outside for ball 1. Nowakowski 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts on the day. So the Seawolves, if they want to clinch the America East regular season title today, it'll have to come with some heroics and in a walk-off fashion. Here's the 1-1 inside, and it's ball 2. So after Rarick with 6 shutdown innings, she gives up 3 in the top half of the seventh. to let the lead wash away after a couple of, honestly, 2 plays out in the infield that probably should have been made by the Seawolves defense. But in any case, the 2-1 is fouled off, and it's 2-2. Tough play from the third baseman, Riley Craig, back in the top half of the 7th inning, unable to make the play, and then the ground ball to the second baseman, Kyra McFarland, unable to make the play. That proved to be the difference. Here's the 2-2. Outside for ball 3. You heard a loud what from the
I believe
dugout.
it's 2-2 now.
Two strikes is all that matters here, I guess. I thought it was 3-2. But here comes the pitch from Coppersmith. Fouled back.
Nowakowski staying tough here. Unfortunate for the Seawolves that Melissa Rarick is not in the 3 batters set to be up this inning.
It's unlikely she'll get a turn at bat in this inning.
As it'll be Nowakowski, Craig, and Sanzone. Sanzone is now out of the game, as it is now a full count, 3-2.
So my apologies. Full count as that one lands in the dirt from Coppersmith. Coppersmith giving up four hits, 2 runs, both of them earned with 8 strikeouts to go along with it. Here comes the 3-2, and it's fouled off again. Good battle here between Nowakowski and Coppersmith, the ace for UMBC. Coppersmith still stuck on 199 strikeouts on the season. Didn't seem like she was going to get another chance to get that 200 mark. But now she does have that chance as the Retrievers have taken a 3-2 lead here in the 7th inning. Here comes the full count pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Coppersmith gets her 9th strikeout of the day and her 200th strikeout of the season. Congratulations to her. Quite the milestone to reach in this season.
Well, it's up to Riley Craig now. 1 out, and she's had a really solid day from the plate.
Riley Craig with 4 hits in 5 at-bats. In game 2, she's 1 for 2. She fouls the first pitch from Coppersmith off, and it's 0-1.
Riley Craig does have 1 home run on the season.
Seawolves gotta make something happen here in the bottom of the 7th if they want to have a chance at securing the America East title today. If not, tomorrow will be the time. That one is popped in the air right side. Tough play for anyone. And the second baseman, Obispo, makes the play in foul territory. And just like that, there's 2 outs. Seawolves down to their last out.
All right. And it looks like Alina Lance will not be batting. It will be Juliana Sanzone, who was taken out and is now coming back in.
Right.
So Alina Lance is in for a few defensive outs. She makes an unbelievable catch in left field, but now Juliana Sanzone comes back in.
So Seawolves 1 out away from throwing this game away to the Retrievers. First pitch to Sanzone is outside for ball 1. Retrievers 1 out away from making a miraculous comeback against the Seawolves and Melissa Rarick in the top of the 7th, where they scored 3 runs and lead it 3-2.
Sanzone does have 1 home run on the season as well.
That one is outside, 2-0. As Coppersmith's patented face mask falls off, she puts it back, flips her hair back. 2 out, nobody on. Seawolves trail by 1 here in the last of the 7th. Coppersmith getting her pitch, checks her arm, got the sign. Here's the 2-0. Swung on and popped up, foul, out of play. No harm, no foul here. Juliana Sanzone, the last gasp for the Seawolves. If she can't get it going, we will see you tomorrow for Game 3 to determine the America East regular season title between these 2 teams. And it's very likely we'll see Coppersmith on the mound at some point tomorrow as well. Here comes the 2-1, swung on and missed. Strike 2, and the Seawolves are down to their final strike. count is 2-2, 2 outs. Last gasp here for the Seawolves as the clock hits 4:22 here at University Field. UMBC fans and dugout on their feet. Here's the 2-2. Just got a piece of it, did Sanzone, to stay alive.
You.
Hit off the glove of the catcher and Ellinger, or that one would have been over. If Sanzone can keep it going, the 9-hitter Shauna Nuss will be on deck. Coppersmith sets. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And we will see you tomorrow afternoon.
That high fastball was just too much for the Seawolves to lay off of. And a really fun game to watch. Tough loss for the Seawolves. They were up the whole way until the top of the 7th. Oh, this one hurts, but at least they got the first one. And as I said earlier, the best 2 words in sports, tomorrow, Game 3.
So it was always going to be a tough task for to hit against Coppersmith. The Seawolves did tack on 2 runs, but were unable to get it done on the defensive side in the top of the 7th as the Retrievers take Game 2 3-2 over the Stony Brook Seawolves. Game 3 tomorrow at 12 p.m. May 8th. That's a Saturday. Don't forget to join us tomorrow at that time where we will have an exciting Game 3 to determine the America East regular season championship. And the 1 and 2 seed is on the line. So both teams go out into their respective outfields. Seawolves out in right field again. UMBC out in left field. But that'll do it here at University Field for today. Please come back tomorrow. You will not want to miss this game to determine the regular season title. Once again, the UMBC Retrievers take Game 2 3-2, tacking on 8 hits. Seawolves had 4. Seawolves had 2 errors. UMBC only had 1. So Seawolves win Game 1 11-2 due to mercy rule. And the Retrievers come back in the 7th inning with some late heroics from their batters to take Game 2 3-2. So that'll do it for us. My name is James D'Elia, alongside Heath Kalb. Thank you for joining us. You have been listening to 90.1 WUSB. Don't forget Game 3 tomorrow at 12 p.m. You're not going to want to miss